I only went out with an umbrella. Never expected to bring home the most beautiful girl in school. She's the campus beauty, you know. At first I thought she just wanted to get out of the rain. But I never imagined she'd break down crying from heartbreak. My classmate, Emma Chen. I don't have a home to go back to anymore. Right now, I'm walking alone in the rain on my way home. My mind still replaying this morning's rejection from Lily. I let out a soft sigh and walked away. Better not to bother her anymore from now on. When I looked up, I saw a girl, sitting lost and vacant on a park bench. When I got closer, I finally recognized her. Wasn't she the famous campus beauty? It was Emma Chen. Yet in this torrential downpour, she looked like an abandoned kitten, utterly helpless. I gathered all my courage to hold the umbrella over her. She noticed my presence. Without hesitation, she called out my name correctly. "You're Nathan, aren't you?" But her voice was so weak it was nearly drowned out by the rain. My heart suddenly ached a little. "You'll catch a cold staying out here this long. Why don't you go home?" But she didn't answer, just turned her face away. Only then did I notice. Her clothes were disheveled and dirty. Even her dress looked like it hadn't been changed in days. She was silent for a moment, then suddenly murmured softly, "I don't have a home to go back to anymore." Hearing that, I was startled, as if remembering something. Seeing her body trembling uncontrollably, I said gently, "If you don't mind, would you like to come to my place?" I thought she'd coldly reject me, but her eyes filled with tears instead. "Really? Is that okay?" I just extended my hand toward her. "As long as you're willing." 3 minutes later, Emma Chen stood frozen in my apartment, looking like she didn't know what to do. Seeing her discomfort, I handed her some clothes and a towel. "You're soaked like this, go take a shower first. The bathroom's down the hall. Turn right and you're there. Feel free to use the shampoo and body wash." Watching her silhouette disappear into the bathroom, I turned and headed straight to the kitchen. When Emma Chen emerged from the bathroom, just in time to see me carrying a steaming bowl of food, setting it on the table, she looked at me, but I didn't explain anything. Just said softly, before Emma could say anything, I brought out a glass of warm water and fever medicine, placing them on the table too. After doing all that, I immediately moved away from the sofa area. Emma sat at the table with conflicted emotions. Her heart must have been torn, but her body couldn't resist accepting. After all, hunger had taken over her mind. She looked over at me. I was sitting at another table doing homework, as if her presence didn't matter at all. It was just ordinary fried rice. Yet her face flushed as soon as she took a bite. 10 minutes later, Emma had finished everything. And right then, I asked the question I'd been wondering about. "Don't worry, I'll keep this confidential. Can you tell me what you meant by not having a home to go back to?" Emma was silent for a long time before speaking softly. Her parents, over a week ago, were in a car accident. They didn't make it. Now she was basically an orphan, and no relatives wanted to take her in. Her grandparents on both sides had all passed away too. I nearly frowned hearing the whole story, finally understanding why Emma had been sitting there alone, crying silently like that. Something this devastating, making her bear it all alone. It was really too much for her. The room was very quiet now. Only Emma's soft sobs could be heard. My eyes avoided hers, not knowing what to do. Emma was our class president. Not only excellent at academics, she had great relationships with everyone. Cheerful, energetic personality. The center and soul of our class. But now, she was crying like a child in front of me. At that moment, I could only think of one thing. No matter what, I couldn't let Emma leave. After all, in her current state, being alone definitely wouldn't be safe. Plus it was still pouring outside. After thinking this, I spoke up. "Just stay here. You can leave when you find somewhere to go." Emma immediately snapped back to reality hearing me say that. She shook her head frantically. "No, no, no. I'll leave right now." But before she could finish, I suddenly looked up at her. "Either you stay here, or I'll call the police to come watch over you. Your choice." Emma choked back a few sobs. She looked at me with tear-filled eyes, even with a hint of blame in her gaze. "Do you talk to Lily like this too?" My mouth fell open. My eyes went blank. I couldn't say a word for the longest time. Her expression seemed to be telling me, "No wonder you failed at confessing." I lowered my head, not knowing how to respond, completely losing my earlier assertiveness. Seeing my awkward state, Emma covered her mouth and laughed, even though tears still glistened in her eyes. I frowned awkwardly. "Just stay here. I'm asking you, please?" That was all I could say. The most sincere words I had. I also tried to put on my face a gentle, pleasant expression. "I agree to stay. Thank you, but why are you helping me like this?" "There's no particular reason. If I had to say, it's because I don't want my reputation in class to get any worse." Emma blinked in surprise. "But, I haven't heard about you having a bad reputation in class. The only thing about you is just that confession to Lily. To me, that's already a bad reputation. Aren't you afraid Lily won't be happy about this?" "Whatever, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I give up." I seemed not to notice Emma's slight confusion. I asked her tentatively, "Don't you dislike him?" I shook my head. Things without answers. Don't need to keep trying anymore. "I see." After deciding to stay, Emma hung up her wet clothes. Then sat dazed on the sofa, not knowing what to do. Seeing I was still studying. Before long I started scratching my head in frustration. Emma slowly walked over to my side. When she saw I was struggling with a problem, she reached out and began patiently explaining it to me. I listened intently, nodding occasionally. When I looked up, it was already 2:30 a.m. I packed up my things. Looking at Emma, "You go to the bedroom. I'll sleep on the sofa. Though my social skills aren't great. At least I know. You shouldn't make a girl sleep on the couch." But Emma kept refusing. She was already grateful just to stay here. We kept refusing each other like this. Moving from the living room to the bedroom. I turned on the bedroom light. Emma looked into the bedroom, seeing it was very clean and tidy. Nothing like a bedroom of a guy living alone. And the bed was huge. More than enough room for 2 people. Seeing how insistent I was, Emma wouldn't budge either. Finally she suggested, "Then let's both sleep in the room. I'll sleep on the floor." "Why would you sleep on the floor?" "I'll do it." We argued for another 5 minutes. Emma realized I was truly stubborn. Seeing it was getting later and later. Finally we agreed to a compromise. To use a blanket to divide the bed in 2, down the middle of the large bed. Each sleeping on one side. Emma's face showed an unmistakable blush. She really agreed to this? And sharing a bed too. With a male classmate. She sat on the left side of the bed, hugging her knees with both arms. Feeling somewhat uneasy inside. Only now did she realize. She was a girl after all. And I was a boy. How could she sleep here peacefully? Her safety awareness was really too poor. What if I did something to her? A while later I walked in, wearing a thin sleepwear made of cool fabric. Under the fabric, clear muscle definition showed. Emma just glanced once, then quickly turned away, but her ears gradually turned red. When the room lights went off, we both lay on the bed. Back to back, a blanket barrier between us. She tried to close her eyes, but opened them again shortly after, because she couldn't sleep at all. All her attention was focused on me on the other side. After 30 minutes, Emma finally heard steady breathing, knowing for sure I was asleep. So after relaxing a bit, she also drifted off to sleep. She even had a dream. She dreamed of her parents gradually moving away. When she suddenly opened her eyes and sat up, she realized it was already morning. Then, she smelled the aroma wafting from the kitchen, immediately waking up her still sleeping stomach. Emma walked out of the bedroom and looked into the kitchen. She saw me wearing an apron and cooking. And just then, I turned around, seeing Emma standing behind me. "Good morning." Emma greeted me softly, asking me about today. Emma looked at the lunchbox on the dining table. Inside were the dishes I just finished making. Only then did Emma remember. I usually brought lunch from home to school, instead of eating in the cafeteria. "I'm preparing lunch. Why do you bring food from home?" "The school food isn't bad," I answered simply. "Do minorities have any dietary restrictions?" "No wonder looking at you made me feel like eating breakfast." "I'm done, you eat first." I pointed to the plate of steaming food. By now, Emma's stomach was churning from the aroma. When she saw the food, her stomach sent even stronger hunger signals. But Emma just nodded slightly. Then she sat down at the table. But she didn't eat right away. Instead waited for me to finish and sit down together. When I just finished breakfast, I asked her, "Are you going to school?" "I have to go shopping today. Probably can't go back to school until tomorrow." I nodded. Then, I took a key from my pocket, tossing it straight to Emma. "House key, come back after shopping. Otherwise I can't get in." Emma looked at the key in front of her. She knew I was worried she had nowhere to go, and would secretly leave. She picked up the key and answered softly, "Got it." In her heart she thought, she definitely couldn't stay at my place forever, even though I meant for her to stay. But she couldn't just go on without any plan. She knew the money she had wasn't enough to rent a place. Studying was the priority now. She couldn't just drop out and work, could she? Right now, besides temporarily staying here, she really had no other choice. After finishing breakfast, I hurriedly packed up and left immediately. When leaving, I didn't say anything special to Emma. Emma looked at the empty room. Couldn't help wondering how I could be so trusting. Emma decided to help me clean the house. Since she was staying here, she should do something. She finished cleaning before going out shopping. But when she entered my workout area and saw the weights in front, she immediately felt a headache. After all, these things looked very exhausting. Emma cleaned for 20 minutes. Suddenly, her eyes glanced toward seeing a cardboard box in the corner by the cabinet. Inside the box were many letter-like papers and some small boxes. She squatted down and took one out. Glancing at the contents, her eyes suddenly showed surprise. It turned out, these were the love letters I'd written to Lily. And the gifts I'd bought too. Soon, in the afternoon, when school let out, I was already on my way home. Halfway there, I saw the bench again, where I'd found Emma yesterday. I really should save her phone number. What if she really did leave? I only have this one key. Standing at the door, I knocked. Not long after, I heard footsteps from inside. I breathed a sigh of relief. The person at the door looked different from what I'd seen this morning. She seemed even more beautiful, brighter somehow. Her eyes seemed to be glowing. "You're back?" "Yeah. Good thing you didn't leave, or I'd have to pay to change the locks." Hearing me say that, Emma couldn't help lowering her head, murmuring softly, "I promised you. How could I leave?" "Oh, you really don't have a phone?" I was worried, if something happened I couldn't reach Emma. She was a bit embarrassed, turning her head away. "I threw my phone in the river a few days ago." "Really?" I looked at her, not knowing what to say. She didn't seem like what I'd imagined. She wasn't the class president who always took care of others. Kind, cheerful and energetic. But more like a lost child. Crying and wandering, that I picked up off the street. Then, I turned and went into the bedroom. When I came out, I was holding a phone. "Use this for now. My old phone still works. Wait a bit. I'll give you a second SIM card. That way, at least you can contact me." Emma took the phone, surprise showing on her face, looking at me with confusion in her eyes. "Even though it's an old phone, you're letting me use it? So, why are you treating me like this? Is it because of Lily?" Emma asked softly. In her heart she must have thought this was the logical answer. Maybe because she and Lily were good friends. And I liked Lily. So I wanted to win her over. I sat in the chair looking at Emma with confusion. After a moment of silence, I shook my head. "I don't think this is about being good to you. I think it's just what I should do. Like how you helped me clean the house. And whatever I do, it definitely has nothing to do with Lily." Then I turned back to my desk. Emma sat on the sofa, playing with the phone. She opened the photo album and saw many pictures. Her reflex was to exit. After all, it was my privacy. But in the end, curiosity won. She clicked on those photos. She saw they were some conversations. The person texting me was Lily, her best friend. When looking at those messages, nothing was too ambiguous. You could tell our relationship was pretty good. At least we were close friends. From those messages, my words became fewer and fewer. They were clearly just normal messages. But Emma could sense the change in my attitude, from hopeful anticipation to complete disappointment. She definitely understood why I had been so persistent. It turned out Lily had given me hope herself, then crushed it with her own hands. After a long moment, in her heart, she began to feel contempt for Lily's actions. And at the same time, she felt deep sympathy for me. But when Emma looked up, she was startled. Because she saw me sitting there, pen in hand, leg crossed, silently watching her. Now she felt incredibly embarrassed. I said, "If there's anything in the phone, just delete it all. There's nothing valuable in there anyway." Emma heard me say this, a bit dazed. But then she thought about it and realized, keeping these things would only make me sadder and more hurt. Better to delete everything and be done with it. Then Emma borrowed a book from me and read it intently. We both sat there studying in silence. Whenever I encountered a problem I didn't understand, Emma would patiently sit beside me and explain. Every time I finished a problem, I'd show a dejected expression. Emma, seeing me like this, covered her mouth, unable to hold back her laughter. At that moment, besides Emma's laughter, suddenly there was a rumbling sound. Emma's laughter abruptly stopped. Her face. That rumbling was her stomach growling. I looked at Emma questioningly. "Have you eaten dinner?" Both of Emma's cheeks flushed with patches of red. She lowered her head, hesitantly saying, "I'm hungry, haven't eaten." I stood up and headed to the kitchen. Emma saw I was preparing to cook for her. Hurriedly waved her hands. "No need, don't trouble yourself. I won't eat, it's late, forget it. I can't let you go hungry in my house." After saying that, I went into the kitchen and closed the door. Soon after, the aroma wafted from the kitchen. I carried out a steaming plate of fried rice. Coming out, "Eat up." Emma didn't refuse anymore. Thanked me, then began eating. A plate of fried rice in less than 3 minutes. She'd cleaned it all. After eating, Emma ran to the kitchen to wash dishes. In her heart she thought, if she could eat like this every day, that would surely be wonderful. Emma realized, hurriedly chased that thought away. She was just temporarily staying here. When things stabilized, she'd definitely leave. By then she'd have to pay rent, couldn't stay for free forever. However, when Emma came out of the kitchen, she suddenly froze. She saw me standing by the cabinet, eyes fixed on the cardboard box. I looked at Emma and asked, "Did you see?" Emma trembled. "Ah, no. I saw it. But I didn't open everything. Just saw one letter. It's fine to look. Consider it a joke. I was planning to throw them away tomorrow morning." "You're really going to throw them away?" "Nothing's more worthless than returned love letters and gifts. Just trash." Then I used tape to seal the box and carried it out, placing it by the door. "Tomorrow morning I'll throw that garbage away." Time quickly passed, reaching midnight, 12:30. The bedroom was pitch dark. We both just lay there, a blanket between us. Emma wrapped herself tightly in her blanket. Today we didn't discuss who'd sleep in the room, who'd sleep on the sofa. This was her second time sharing a bed with a male classmate. What if our classmates found out? How would she explain? But why care about being misunderstood now? Her family just had a major tragedy. Back then she'd wanted to die. Wearing her uniform, wandering the streets, walking and crying, completely ignoring others' stares and whispers. Honestly, if not for me, she didn't know where she'd be now. You could even say I saved her. She called my name. I answered softly too. The next moment, I heard Emma's gentle, weak voice. "Good night, Emma." This time sleeping, she clearly slept much deeper than last night. The next day, when she came out of the bedroom, I'd already prepared lunch, except on the table now were 2 lunchboxes. Then I took the smaller box and tossed it toward Emma. At this moment Emma looked at the lunchbox before her. She blinked in surprise. "This is prepared for you. Doesn't this save some lunch money? If you don't want it, I won't prepare it tomorrow." "I want it." Emma hurriedly covered her lunchbox with her hands, as if afraid I'd snatch it back. "Oh right, there's also fruit and yogurt." I conveniently handed her a small container. Emma looked at the items before her. Her eyes lit up, like returning to elementary school when Mom was still by her side. And that feeling was now gone. Never expected to find that feeling with me. At this moment, in Emma's eyes, the satisfaction was clearly visible. Seeing Emma's reaction like this, I was even more certain of my guess. She was still a child at heart. After washing up and eating breakfast, we both headed out together. And I conveniently threw away the cardboard box. Full of my sad memories. Didn't even bother looking back one last time. We walked along the road, maintaining a certain distance. At the school gate, Emma took a deep breath and calmed her emotions. "Hey, class president." At this moment she heard someone calling. Turning around, she saw several classmates standing behind. Emma waved and gently responded. "Oh, long time no see. It really is the class president. Finally came to class. We missed you so much. Why did you suddenly stop coming?" Everyone quickly gathered around Emma. I didn't care much. Just kept walking straight ahead. At this moment, Emma saw. Suddenly a girl approached me. That girl casually tossed me a piece of gum. I caught it as usual. Then popped it in my mouth. "Did you get it already?" "That's right, this has to be the real deal. Can you trade it back for me? Come online to play tomorrow." The two walked very close together. Emma saw everything. She and I never walked that close. This was the first time. Emma saw me talking so smoothly with a girl. Was that my deskmate? "Emma, you finally came. I was so worried about you. Why didn't you come?" When Lily saw Emma, she immediately ran over to hug her. "Oh, something happened at home. So I couldn't come these past few days." Emma answered verbally, but her eyes looked toward me. Almost everyone in class gathered around Emma. Only my deskmate and I sat in our seats. Emma saw me and my deskmate. The two kept chatting non-stop. Why did they have so much to talk about? When Emma was at my house, she never talked with me that much. "Class president, the teacher wants you in his office for a bit." Emma stood up preparing to go to the teacher's office. Before leaving, her eyes still looked toward me. But I didn't look at her once. Emma felt something strange in her mood. Me talking with Ashley was perfectly normal. Why did she feel uncomfortable? Was it because she and I had never talked that much? Emma kept thinking randomly in her head. In the office, the teacher held Emma's hands and began explaining to her patiently. Emma also understood she had to look forward. No matter how sad she was, nothing could be changed. When Emma returned to class, her friends continued asking about her. I glanced over. Seeing friends crowding around Emma, I wasn't surprised at all. Good thing I sat quite far from her. Otherwise, there'd be no peace anymore. The morning passed very quickly. Lunchtime arrived. Emma had been looking forward to lunch since morning. After all, I made it for her myself. From her desk, she opened the lunchbox and placed it on the table. She just looked once. Already felt hungry. "Hey Emma, why did you bring lunch today?" When Lily saw the lunchbox on Emma's desk, she was a bit surprised. In her memory, it seemed only I in the whole class brought lunch from home. I just suddenly wanted to. "Let me try a bite." "Did your mom make it?" Lily looked at the food in Emma's lunchbox and asked with a smile. "No, I made it myself." "Really? Let me taste." Lily took chopsticks and picked up a small piece to put in her mouth. Slowly chewed for a moment. After a while, she frowned slightly. "You made this yourself?" "Yes, what's wrong?" "Nothing, just feels familiar somehow." "But it's good, you're really skilled." "It's nothing." Emma felt a bit worried inside. Unexpectedly Lily felt familiar with this flavor. Had she eaten my cooking before? Seemed like they had a pretty good relationship before. Good thing she didn't recognize it, otherwise it would be awkward. Lily returned to her seat. Then she turned to look at me. When she saw I was also eating lunch, she couldn't help but frown. Seemed to be thinking about something. Strange. Emma finished everything cleanly. She continued eating fruit, then drank yogurt. Finally, satisfied, she put her head down on the desk. Her lips carried a light smile. For some reason, she felt like returning to childhood. When in elementary school, she also brought lunch to school. Back then, it was her mother who prepared lunch for her every morning. Emma's tears welled up in her eyes, then slowly slid down, flowing on her cheeks, falling onto the desk. She hurriedly wiped away the tears, so others wouldn't see. Summer afternoons were usually hot and stuffy. Everyone in class was sluggish. Finally the afternoon PE class arrived. PE classes were very rare now. Only one period a week. Everyone went out to the field to play, while I sat in the shade, holding a book to read. I also wanted to go out for fresh air, but wanted to use the time to study. After all, my grades were too low. To catch up, I had to work harder than others. Look, he's reading. Doesn't look like he's pretending. Really started studying seriously. Madison pointed at me sitting in the shade, telling Lily and Emma. Emma gently nodded. Only she knew how hard I'd been working, studying diligently even after going home. You could see my determination. But Lily didn't seem to care much. She turned and pulled Emma and Madison away. Let's go watch the boys play basketball. Emma was a bit unhappy but was still pulled away by Lily. Actually, she also wanted to sit with me and read. But that would be too much. People would definitely gossip. She didn't mind, but was afraid it would affect me. The basketball court was lively and bustling. While I was enjoying the piece, just as I turned a page, suddenly a basketball flew straight into my lap. I frowned slightly and looked up. Before me was Ashley. She wore a loose t-shirt, athletic shorts below, her long, fair legs exposed. I threw the ball back to her. A bit puzzled. What do you want? Play for a bit. See if your skills are still good. Ashley patted the ball. Her face curved up slightly, as if smiling. I pointed at the guys. Go play with them. They're not interesting at all. Only challenges are interesting. Are you scared? Hearing that, I suddenly jumped up from the bench. Don't be like when we were kids. Losing then crying and running home. Well, you have to beat me first before saying that. Ashley and I went to another basketball court. Over there, some guys were playing basketball. Suddenly an eye swept over. Eyes widened. Immediately nudged the person next to him and whispered, "Hey, look who's over there." Such white legs. What legs? Where? The guys on the court went crazy. They looked all around. When they saw Ashley not far away, their eyes widened too. Oh, it's Ashley. I didn't think Ashley had clothes like that. Brothers, I understand now. The three girls watching also felt strange. Why did they suddenly stop? Still looking in the same direction? But when they followed their gaze over there, their surprise was no less than the guys. When Emma saw next to Ashley was me, her heart shook slightly. This feeling was both unexpected and reasonable. Lily had already furrowed her brows tightly. She didn't understand why she felt uncomfortable inside, like something had been taken away. She bit her lip. In her deep eyes, there was a hint of coldness. Let's go watch. While Ashley and I hadn't started competing yet, the basketball court was already surrounded by people. The guys who were playing basketball stopped. They came here to look at legs and watch basketball. So there's a figure like that. Former girlfriend? All three of them noticed me. When they saw me wearing a tight short-sleeved shirt, everyone was somewhat surprised and confused. Lily was also stunned. How could she have known before that I had such a nice physique? Emma already knew. After all, she saw me in pajamas every night. Still playing? Being watched by so many people, I was a bit uncomfortable. I asked Ashley, "Since when did you start caring about other people's gazes?" Yeah, that's true. The competition between us was truly captivating. Whether defense or offense, both were excellent. Everyone around watched in amazement. Every time I scored, Emma would clap along. She watched very intently, completely different from watching others play basketball. At this moment, our score was neck and neck. If I wanted to change the current situation, at least I had to create a small gap with Lily. To do that, in the next second, while Ashley hadn't reacted yet, I grabbed the ball, jumped up and powerfully threw it toward the hoop. Along with the loud bang that rang out, that backboard, quickly covered with spiderweb-like cracks, suddenly shattered. Glass fragments scattered across the ground. The scene before me left me stunned, while the people standing around let out astonished screams. Everyone stared wide-eyed. The girls were even more shocked. This was the first time they'd seen someone who could shatter a backboard like that. Ashley just smiled helplessly. She patted me to brush off the glass shards. "All right, you win. Making me try that hard is enough." At this moment, I felt a bit dizzy. I shouldn't have been bothered by others like this. But today, with so many people watching, I couldn't help but be serious. Handsome, right? Dude, when you jumped up. I saw you have abs. Madison excitedly shook Lily's arm beside her. She was jumping like a fangirl. Lily still hadn't recovered. She looked at me, her eyes still focused. Her pupils shifted slightly. She felt like she understood me much better now. Her previous impression of me was boring conversation, low emotional intelligence, poor grades, a rather dull guy. But looking at me now, actually pretty handsome. Emma noticed. Quite a few girls watching were looking at me with admiring eyes. She didn't know why she had a strange feeling, like an uneasiness from deep within. PE class ended like that. I took the initiative to admit fault. In the end, the school didn't make me stay after. Just verbally criticized me a bit. Told me to clean up properly. However, stories about me began spreading through school. The guys in class were incredibly jealous. But I didn't think this was a good thing. After standing out, it felt like more eyes were on me. There were some changes too. Especially the girls. Every time I walked by, they'd look at my chest and abs. This feeling made me a bit uncomfortable. The whole day passed quickly. School dismissal time came again. I had a feeling. After school, I'd be surrounded. Didn't know if it'd be guys or girls surrounding me. Also didn't know what I'd do. But I had a strange premonition. So after school I quickly packed up and rapidly left. Emma saw me leave so quickly. She immediately panicked, also hurriedly followed to catch up with me. Hey, Emma, wait a second. Let's go together. Lily saw Emma in such a hurry. Immediately called out to her. But Emma didn't have time to wait for Lily. Moreover, if she went with her, the fact that she was going to my house would definitely be exposed. So Emma didn't turn back. Just said, I have something to do, leaving first. What could be so urgent at this time? Lily felt it was a bit strange. Thinking back on the whole day, Emma's state had been somewhat unusual. She felt a bit uncomfortable. Seemed like she had a lot on her mind. But she knew Emma's family seemed to have had something happen. So she didn't ask further. However, besides that, it felt like she had a secret she couldn't tell. Emma chased after me out of school. She hurriedly ran to my side to catch up. Hey, why are you walking so fast? Seeing Emma panting, I was a bit surprised. Don't you know where my house is? Just walk slowly. But Emma, hearing me say that, felt it was true. Her chasing after could be seen. This secret discovered. So why did she hurriedly chase after me? In her heart, perhaps she just hoped after school she could talk with me openly. Not hurt? Emma thought about today's incident. I'd been hit by a lot of broken glass. Afraid I was hurt, she gently asked. I'm fine. I answered softly, that's good then. Oh, I finished all the lunch today. It was delicious. I responded word by word, making Emma feel a bit sad. Couldn't help but think. Today I talked so naturally with Ashley. Why couldn't I chat comfortably like that with her? Was it because Ashley was more special? This question had been on her mind all day. Even during PE class. I didn't play basketball with the guys. Just sat there reading. But when Ashley came to find me, I played with Ashley. So the doubts in her heart made her unable to not ask. Let me ask something, don't be mad. Do you like Ashley? You know, romantically. I see you talk with her very naturally. So you must have a lot to talk about, right? Do you like Ashley? Probably, right? Because I see you and Ashley talk very comfortably. Walking too close. But with me it's a bit. Emma said these words with some awkwardness. Like she was jealous. To say these words. No, I answered very decisively. Not even a hint of hesitation. So decisive that Emma felt confused. Haven't you thought about it even a little? I feel your relationship with her is pretty good. She studies very well. Very beautiful appearance too. Not inferior to Lily at all. I shook my head again, denying. Number. Plus my dad would kill me. Why? Because it's against morality. Loving your own cousin. Emma immediately stopped walking. She was so shocked her face went pale. Seemed too shocked. Reacting too strongly to the cousin reason. Her mother is my aunt, my uncle's daughter. Ashley and I grew up together since we were little. She transferred in a few days after sophomore year started. Don't you remember? We weren't in the same class then. She transferred in later, because her mother worried about her personality. Afraid she couldn't find friends. That no one would talk to her. So she asked the teacher to arrange us as deskmates. My words startled Emma. No wonder Ashley and I were so close. Turns out we were childhood friends. She even felt we were a bit reserved. Probably due to personality. Makes sense. Our relationship is that good. Both our conditions are good too. But we haven't gotten together, there must be a reason. Must be because of family relations. Emma seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. And the conversation became lighter. So do you know what happened today? Someone shouting in the crowd. You like your cousin. It's good I didn't get angry. How could you not be angry? I feel like you were angry. Pretty scary too. Not really, nothing to be angry about. If I was angry I'd punch them in the face. Emma laughed softly. I turned to look at her. What are you laughing at? I'm serious, no really. Just feel more familiar with you now. Talking seems much easier. Then Emma and I went into the house together. Emma felt there was a bit of a sense of intimacy and belonging here. Though she'd only been here 2 days. It felt like she'd been here a long time. Perhaps it was how I treated her. That reminded her of the feeling of home before. While I went to the kitchen to prepare dinner, Emma felt she was really lucky. Because she really liked the dishes I cooked. They perfectly suited her taste. While I was in the kitchen cooking, Emma helped clean the house. Though the house was already very clean, she still found things to do. After we both finished dinner, the dining table was silent for a moment. Though Emma tried to find ways to start conversation, I felt one shouldn't talk while eating. I ate very quickly and very quietly. She didn't dare bother me too much. After eating, she again took initiative to clear the table and wash dishes. While I took off my jacket, went to the bathroom door. Suddenly I seemed to think of something, and asked Emma, who was in the kitchen, "Do you want to shower?" "Go shower, Emma, do you want to?" Emma poked her head out, both her cheeks slightly flushed. "Oh, no need. I'll shower outside." She still couldn't comfortably shower in my house. So before she always showered outside. When not at home she didn't dare. Let alone when I was home. "Then you can use the bathroom here." "It's fine," I said, then went into the bathroom, closing the door to shower. "Okay, thanks," Emma answered very softly. Her hair also turned red. She cleaned up then sat at the desk to study. But not long after, she heard the sound of water in the bathroom. When thinking about me showering right now, in her head she couldn't help but imagine my physique, the triangular torso and the V taper. Wonder what it looks like when showering. For a moment, a hazy image appeared in her head, blurry and unclear. No, Emma immediately shook her head, pushing away that shameful thought. How could she think about something like that? Though she tried to force herself to focus. But when she came back to her senses, the water had just stopped. She immediately pretended to be studying very diligently, both hands gripping the book, looking very serious. Soon after, I walked out of the bathroom in pajamas. Because my body wasn't completely dry, the pajamas stuck to my stomach. The clear ab muscles showed very distinctly. Though Emma tried to concentrate, her eyes still involuntarily glanced at me. At this moment, Emma suddenly widened her eyes. She couldn't believe what she was doing. Was she swallowing right now? Impossible. She didn't think Emma was that kind of person. From childhood till now she'd never loved anyone, let alone having feelings for any guy. She thought she must be the type of person who only knew studying, a bookworm. Completely different from those who dared pursue love in their youth. But why was her heart so chaotic now? While I hadn't noticed Emma's abnormality at all, just focused on drying my hair, Emma forcefully patted her hot cheeks, trying to stay calm, forcing herself to immerse in the ocean of knowledge, unable to escape. But on the desk, my phone rang just then. She unconsciously looked toward the sound, and saw a message appear on the screen. This message made Emma unable to control her curiosity, because she saw the sender was Lily. Wasn't she very uncomfortable with Lily? Why suddenly text me? Though this made Emma very curious. She didn't secretly read that message. when she saw me return and prepare to sit at the desk. Emma somewhat unnaturally spoke up. "Did your phone just get a message?" But when I saw the message on the phone, I slightly frowned. Then, I didn't reply but turned off the phone. Emma always paid attention to my reaction. When I didn't reply like that, her curiosity grew even stronger. What would Lily text me? Could she be confessing to me? Impossible. She'd already looked through the messages in the old phone. Today at school, Lily's attitude was very clear. She didn't want to be with me. Lily was now lying in bed looking at her phone. Her phone contained the message just sent to me. "What are you doing?" Just 3 short words, but it was a message she'd thought about for a long time. Before sending. If it was before, I definitely would have replied immediately, even if not replying in time. Later I'd quickly explain the reason. But now half an hour had passed, and I still hadn't replied at all. She really wished there was a read receipt function, to know if I'd seen the message or not, or had seen it but didn't reply. Lily slowly raised her hand to type a few words. "Why aren't you replying to me?" When she was about to hit send, her finger wouldn't press down, like an internal ideological struggle. After a while, she deleted the message and turned off the phone. Lay down on the bed, covering her eyes with her hand. Really, why can't it just be good like before? Why must it change? Midnight, we both returned to the room to prepare for sleep. Emma was getting used to this. The third time, she wasn't worried anymore. Even very natural. After all, if I wanted to do something, it would have happened days ago. And she'd somewhat understood what kind of person I was. Lights off, she looked up at the pitch-black ceiling. Her mind began recalling the day's events. To our classmates, I was definitely the biggest main character. Had also shocked everyone greatly. They even began seeing me differently now. And what shocked them most must be knowing Ashley and I were cousins. Thinking back, Ashley really did transfer into class a few days after sophomore year started, then began sitting with me. Still unchanged till now. Ashley's impression. Actually, both were the quiet type, not good at socializing. Didn't have many friends, and in fact she'd never seen Ashley play with anyone. Sometimes she just sat quietly in her seat, not knowing what she was doing. "Ashley doesn't have friends?" Emma suddenly spoke up, asking softly. Though very soft, it was very clear in the quiet room. She asked me, so if I actively talked to her, would she pay attention? She would, but I advise you not to be friends with her. Why? Emma was really surprised. She thought she'd heard wrong. I was silent for a long while, before slowly speaking. "If you stay with her long, I'm afraid you'll feel inferior." "What do you mean?" "Nothing, just don't interact with her. She doesn't need friends anyway." I turned over, and the situation changed direction. Like something was being suppressed. Earlier, Emma had been very curious about Lily's message. She'd been very strong about that. Now because of Ashley's matter, I kept silent. She really couldn't take it anymore. If she didn't know about this, she definitely wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. Emma propped herself up with her hand, looking at me on the other side. Sincerely said, "Just tell me. I'll definitely be friends with her, don't worry." Her words made me open my eyes wide in surprise. Didn't expect Emma to be so determined. After hesitating for a moment, I got up, turned on the light, went to the computer desk and started searching. Emma watched me from the bed, puzzled. After a while, I handed her a photo. Emma took it. When she saw the photo, she saw a little girl. Seemed only about 7 or 8 years old. Smiling very brightly, and what stood out was, the little girl was holding a certificate. Her right hand was also holding a trophy. "This is Ashley." "Really?" Emma couldn't quite believe it. Because the girl in the photo was so different from Ashley now. Not to mention long hair or short hair. But her demeanor seemed very lively and cheerful. But now Ashley was very cold. "Yeah, it's real." I nodded. Continued. "She's the typical, other people's child. She knows piano, chess, painting, excels at everything she studies. Can easily win any competition she enters. And her grades have always been top since childhood. Her scores are definitely always in the class top 5. Now she just doesn't focus on studying. If she could stop gaming for 2 months, She'd definitely surpass you. Really? Emma, hearing me say this, couldn't help but open her mouth wide in surprise. She knew Ashley was excellent, but didn't expect her to be this excellent. I've never been better than her at anything since childhood. So when we were young, she never saw me as her cousin. For a long time, I even hated her. I sat in the chair, my eyes somewhat deep, as if remembering the past. In the end, I could only use the reason of gender differences between boys and girls to teach her. I remember when we were young, she and I played basketball once. I won. That was the first time I beat her at something. She cried, but I laughed instead. And that was the happiest I'd ever laughed. After that, she was hurt a lot. Started training physically every day. Her goal was to surpass me in sports. Finally, I regained some confidence. She also saw me as a rival from then on. Her personality gradually stabilized. I handed her another photo. That photo must be when Ashley and I were in middle school. My birthday, eyes closed, making a wish before the cake, while Ashley wore my birthday hat. And the photo was taken when she was secretly eating cake. I feel the bond between you like this might be even stronger than normal sibling bonds. Emma handed the photo back to me, but her eyes clearly showed envy. Because she'd never had a good friend since childhood, or a relative like that. She also understood why we didn't have many friends. Perhaps for us, having each other was enough. Maybe so. After all, she and I have never fought. Then I looked at Emma. Continuing, so you understand now? Living with her would be very tiring. Moreover, you don't need to be friends with her. Because she doesn't need friends either. Emma gently shook her head and smiled. No, now I want to be friends with her even more. Learning from excellent people is how I can improve. The next day, Lily left home and went to school. Just that her mood wasn't very good. Looking like she hadn't gotten enough sleep. She'd waited for my message until very late last night. About 2 hours later, she thought I'd seen it but deliberately didn't reply. At first she was very angry, planning to ask me when she got to school. But after thinking again, maybe I really wasn't pursuing her anymore. If it was before, maybe she'd be happy, feeling like she'd escaped from me. But now she felt strange and uncomfortable. These issues kept Lily tossing and turning all night. So she decided, the next morning she'd ask Emma and Madison's opinions. Maybe there'd be some help. Lily walked while yawning, looking at the road ahead, feeling like it was so far to school. She really hoped I'd suddenly appear behind her, then call her to go to school together. When it's just two people, they could talk to each other. But that was just a dream. How could that happen? Suddenly Lily's eyes widened in surprise, seeing me walking past beside her. Wasn't that Shadow Me? It was me, she unconsciously called out loud. Hearing the sound, I turned to look at her. Lily looked behind again, then turned and walked away. Hey, wait a second. Before Lily could say anything, there was another person beside her. Hi, what a coincidence meeting you here. Emma, you take this road too? Why haven't I met you before when going to school? Lily's eyes flashed with surprise. Could it be that earlier she'd heard her calling? She moved houses, so she takes this road. Emma answered correctly, pointing to the road behind. Good thing she'd seen Lily ahead. So she deliberately walked slowly to keep distance from me. You don't look well. Didn't sleep well? Emma looked at Lily, feeling like a few days ago she was the same. Lily nodded, with a lifeless expression, answered. Yeah, didn't sleep well. Emma remembered last night Lily texted me, but didn't get a response. Could she not sleep because of this? Was she changing her mind and wanting to be with me again? The two entered class and saw. The class was quite lively, and Madison, who was already in class, also looked toward them. Now you two, he and Ashley are very popular. Emma and Lily looked toward my and Ashley's seats. Discovered that around our seats, people kept passing by, some talking, some giving things. That was Ashley. These are snacks I bought for you this morning, Ashley. Do you want to play basketball this weekend? We're short on people, come join us. We're going to karaoke this weekend, are you coming? Can you teach me to play ball, Nathan? Around us there was no shortage of people, both guys and girls. But for us, it felt like the whole world and a disaster. Since entering class, my face always showed impatience. Suddenly I slammed the desk hard. Everyone in class immediately fell silent. Then looked toward us with dark faces. Everyone felt a chill down their spine. Immediately, they hurriedly dispersed. After all, the two of us really weren't easy to mess with. Only when no one was nearby. Our expressions softened. Madison, seeing this scene, couldn't help but sigh. They really are hard to approach. No wonder they don't have many friends. I think they just don't want to make friends. They're not unapproachable. Just don't like noise. And aren't close with other classmates. Emma unconsciously spoke up, defending us. Now she understood the situation between Ashley and me. Lily looked at me. Had so many words in her heart she wanted to say to me. But couldn't find any opportunity. After all, she was someone I once liked. Couldn't she become my most special person? Unexpectedly, in just 3 short days. From me circling around her every day, it had become many people circling around me. While beside her, I was nowhere to be seen. She'd originally planned to come to school to ask Emma and Madison what they thought. But thinking about it now, definitely had to ask him directly to be effective. But yesterday Nathan was really handsome. Do you think if I confessed to him, would he agree? Madison looked at the two with hopeful eyes, trying to find the answer she wanted. Unfortunately, both almost simultaneously shook their heads. Without any hesitation. This result disappointed Madison. Her face fell. How rude. At this time my and Ashley's moods were pretty terrible. Just yesterday, this was a quiet area. Yet today it became a chaotic place. Too troublesome. Ashley couldn't help but pout. Then spit out the gum in her mouth. I frowned. Looking at Ashley, wasn't it just playing basketball yesterday? Is this necessary? Don't understand, they just like new things. And we're not that familiar. They probably just want to try interacting a bit. Then why not find him but find me? Why find me? Isn't it because they're not familiar with me? They've been mocking me for 2 years. After speaking, I looked at the one who caused this for the past 2 years. It was Lily. As a result, she was looking at me. And right then, I looked into her eyes. When Lily and I looked at each other, suddenly her heart beat faster. Feeling a bit nervous, she hurriedly turned her head away. But her face turned red as a cherry. She gently placed her hand on her chest and murmured, "What's going on?" After class, Lily immediately went to Emma's side. "Emma, can you come with me for a bit?" Though the two were walking in the hallway, heading toward the restroom. But Emma looked at Lily. Seemed like she wanted to say something. "Yeah, it's not the first time anyway. We always go together." Lily looked around once. Then in a low voice, spoke into Emma's ear. "Listen, don't tell anyone. Before I said I didn't like Nathan. But I don't know why. Now I find he's becoming more and more pleasant. That can't be right? But don't tell Madison. She'll definitely laugh at me." At this moment, Emma seemed a bit stunned. Even couldn't quite believe it. She remembered Lily's message last night. And her state this morning. She realized it really was because her feelings toward me had changed. "You like him now, don't you?" "I don't know either. If I say maybe, will you laugh at me?" Lily looked at Emma, her eyes containing a bit of unease. Liking someone is no big deal. But, indeed, liking someone you've rejected for 2 years is really quite foolish. Even she herself felt it was a bit funny. Someone who pursued her for 2 years. But she didn't agree. Now just because of a small display from him. She immediately felt moved. "That's too impatient. But I won't laugh at you. I just feel you're starting to think this way too late. Now Nathan is very popular. And he probably hasn't confessed to you for several days now." "That's right, does he not like me anymore?" Lily felt her anxiety had reached its peak. The first day I didn't bother her. She was very happy. The second day already felt something was wrong. By the third day, she'd started feeling insecure about herself. This is really unbearable. Am I deliberately making her change? Then isn't she changing too easily? I think that's possible. Emma didn't dare tell the truth. After all, last night when Lily texted me, she'd witnessed it herself. Clearly not caring. Also choosing not to regret. He probably doesn't like me anymore. But if I don't speak too clearly now, it would hurt Lily a lot. So what should I do? Can you talk to Nathan? Maybe there'll be some change? Emma knew clearly Lily had no chance anymore, but still gave this advice, hoping she could face the truth directly. Definitely if I reject her directly, she'll give up. Then just talk directly with Nathan. Okay, so can you help me tell Nathan? At lunch break, I want to talk to him. I'll tell him. Then why don't you go tell him yourself? I don't dare, Lily said embarrassedly. Because thinking of the key. If I go alone, everyone will definitely see. I'll be surrounded and laughed at. And if I'm rejected right in front of everyone, wouldn't that be even more embarrassing? Okay, but I can't guarantee he'll agree. Emma hesitated a bit, finally decided to help. After all, Lily was still her good friend. Okay, thank you. Lily happily hugged Emma, then turned to go back to class. Emma sighed deeply, her mood somewhat complicated. As Lily's friend, she surely wanted Lily to succeed, but didn't know why. In her heart she didn't want Lily to succeed. She even secretly prayed, hoping I wouldn't agree to Lily's confession. Don't agree with her. Emma returned to class, since there was time before class started. Lily sat in her chair, urgently looking toward Emma, her eyes signaling, telling her to go talk to me. Emma looked around, then saw no one was beside me. She continued walking toward me. As the class president, who also had very good relationships with everyone in this class, she wasn't afraid of being mocked no matter who she approached. There was just one exception. Lily sat in her chair. When she saw Emma walking toward me, suddenly her heart tensed. She felt she had to do something. Emma came close to me, said softly, Nathan, I have something to tell you. I looked up at Emma, then answered gently, I've been bothered since early morning. This isn't me deliberately being cold. Simply because they're the people who've mocked me for 2 years. Before I wanted to get along with them, but was treated as a joke. Now I want to be close with them. Want to study seriously to catch up. But these people are just full of laziness. Even now I still feel a bit annoyed. That's Emma. If it was someone else, I really wouldn't want to care about that person. I have a question I don't understand. Can you show me? At this moment, Ryan suddenly ran over holding his homework, interrupting Emma's words. Emma fell silent, her train of thought completely broken. She looked at Ryan with a bewildered expression. Though normally, because she was approachable, and her grades were pretty good, many people came to ask her questions. But shouldn't you read the situation? Now she was talking to someone else. And about a very sensitive topic too. How could she speak now? Oh, are you talking? It's fine. You go ahead, I'm not in a hurry. Ryan pretended not to want to bother us, but didn't step back. Instead standing beside us, clearly wanting to hear what Emma would say. This made him feel more at ease. Okay, can you not? Emma's face was full of awkwardness, unable to speak. If Ryan heard and spread it around, later not only Lily, but I would also be embarrassed. She knew clearly I didn't want to be seen as a joke. Didn't want to become the subject of others' gossip. But she didn't dare tell Ryan to go away. Because that would make it seem like she was saying something that couldn't be known by others. Strange rumors would spread. I looked up at Emma's awkward expression. Then at Ryan who wouldn't back down. Then I suddenly stood up, one hand firmly grasping Emma's wrist. Under Ryan's stunned gaze, I directly pulled Emma out of the classroom. At this moment, Emma was also completely shocked. The feeling of being held by me was like that rainy day when I pulled her home. Lily had been secretly observing the situation. When she saw this scene, her eyes filled with disbelief. Ryan was still stunned, his eyebrows twitching hard. He couldn't believe I would do that in front of him, pulling Emma away. At this time, I led Emma to the stairwell, where no one was passing by. I let go of her hand, looking at Emma and saying, All right. Speak, aren't you afraid of others gossiping? They'll misunderstand you. Emma lowered her head, speaking softly, thinking about how I just pulled her out of class. Her heart couldn't help but beat faster. I closed my eyes, slowly opening my mouth. So you're asking someone who's been mocked for 2 years, if they're afraid of rumors? Indeed, if you're afraid of being misunderstood, I'll go back and explain to them. Emma continuously shook her head. No, I'm not afraid either. She knew clearly her current situation. She had nothing left. Nothing to lose. Also not afraid of being ridiculed. Well, hurry up then. Class is starting soon. Actually, I'm just a messenger. Just because she wants to talk to you privately. Meeting you at noon today, just stay here. I directly shook my head, refusing. Didn't even think about it. Emma had already anticipated this result. More accurately, with her understanding of me. This was the most likely outcome. Really not going to talk to her? Maybe after talking, she'll stay with you. Then I even more don't want to talk to her. Let her see, I pursued her for 2 years and she still didn't agree. Now I'm not pursuing anymore. It's only been 3 days. She wants to tease me, now coming back. Then am I worthless? That's true. After speaking, we both returned to class. However, when I just sat down, Ashley tapped the desk with her pen, asking, "You and the class president. Since when were you close?" I was a bit puzzled. How did you know? So you can grab someone's hand and pull them outside. Not afraid they'll slap you and call you a pervert? I waved my hand. You're overthinking it. I know she's a good person, she wouldn't do that. If it was someone else, I wouldn't dare either. All right, Ashley nodded. She reluctantly believed me about what Emma and I just talked about. She didn't ask and didn't want to ask. Though she knew if she asked me, I would definitely tell her. While some people didn't want to know. But some people wanted to know desperately. Ryan sat in his seat, restless like ants crawling on him. He really wanted to know what Emma and I had talked about. But just now he couldn't follow outside. Because doing so would make his purpose too obvious. And he'd be disliked by everyone. What made him most uncomfortable was me pulling Emma outside. Emma didn't resist, but naturally accepted it. Lily was another witness, though she was shocked by my action. But she also knew the content of the conversation between us two, so she was now eagerly hoping Emma could bring her good news. When class ended, Lily hurriedly approached Emma. "Emma, how did it go?" she asked softly, eyes and voice both full of hope. But seeing Emma's expression wasn't good. Her heart tightened again. "Forget it, you should give up. Didn't you say it yourself? That you're not compatible with him? He refused, didn't he?" Lily lowered her head, her eyes gloomy. Feeling her eyes were a bit wet. Feeling like crying. She didn't feel wronged. Just felt she'd created her own suffering. After all, she wasn't wrong. Just that someone was right in front of her and she ignored them for 2 years. It seemed like fate was teasing her. For 2 whole years, she never liked me. Yet just a few days after I stopped liking her, she started feeling interested in me. Emma didn't know how to comfort her. Could only gently shake her head and say, "It's okay. You're so beautiful. In college many people will like you. You're already a senior now. Even if you really got together with Nathan, with both your grades, you definitely couldn't get into the same university. Long-distance love would be even more painful then." Lily didn't know what to do at this point. Could only passively listen to Emma's comfort. What else could she do? She definitely couldn't shamelessly beg me to come back. Just earlier, she was still thinking what to say to me at noon. But now what she thought didn't matter anymore. I completely didn't want to talk to her. "All right, what's going on?" This was Madison. Madison approached them. Seeing Lily's expression wasn't good. Madison was a bit surprised. Emma gently pulled Madison's hand. "So don't ask anymore." Madison obediently shut her mouth. Still, about Lily's matter. She could guess somewhat. Probably related to me. At lunchtime, Emma happily took out the lunchbox I prepared. Opening it, she never used to look forward to lunch before. Because she ate very little. Eating for her sometimes even felt like a waste of time. But now, she felt what she looked forward to most was meals. And when lunch break was about to end, she felt she really wanted to eat now. When lunch break was almost over, the homeroom teacher slowly walked up to the podium. Said, "I have 2 things to announce." The homeroom teacher's voice made the resting students immediately look up. "First thing is we'll have monthly exams. Next Tuesday, everyone study hard. Hope to achieve good results. Second thing is the school sports meet at the end of this month. This is the last sports meet for you in high school." Everyone hearing about the sports meet showed excitement. After all, for them, academic life was too stressful. And these few days of sports meet were the best chance for them to relax. Could play around comfortably a bit. The sports events will be written on paper. Everyone voluntarily sign up to participate. And the opening ceremony performance. This time is completely organized by you students. It's decided then. Class president and sports committee, these two matters will be handed to you. The homeroom teacher gave the notice board to Emma sitting in the front row. Then left the classroom. Immediately, everyone rushed around, preparing to join the conversation. Of course, there was also Ryan. After all, he was on the sports committee. Hearing he could work with Emma, he immediately became excited. Everyone around discussed loudly, so noisy that Emma had to frown. The classroom became chaotic. All right, Emma hurriedly called for a stop. The sports meet is still far away. Most important now is the monthly exam next Tuesday. Whoever wants to sign up for sports events can sign up. Everyone else focus on studying. As for the opening performance, wait until after the monthly exam. Ryan beside her also hurriedly supported. Right. Listen to the class president. You all go back. Whoever wants to participate in sports come find me. Ashley was woken by the noise. She raised her head, still half asleep, looking at me beside her and asking, "What's happening?" Next Tuesday is the monthly exam. End of month will be the sports meet. Participating in the sports meet? Ashley yawned. Oh, can we skip the sports meet? Let's just go to an internet cafe instead. Otherwise it's really boring. I don't think we can. So the sports meet isn't as important as the monthly exam? At this time I started scratching my head, feeling my mind was tense. Ranking 200th in class was really a very high result. To improve 50 ranks this time, I really had no confidence at all. This weekend I'll help you review a bit. Your way of thinking really can't keep up with mine. Thinking back, even when Emma explained problems she had to explain for a long time before I could understand. And Emma, she wasn't the type to explain to others. She just gave me a correct answer. Then told me to think for myself. All right, tonight I'll log into your account. Help you do homework. Okay, I reluctantly nodded. Tonight after school, I left preparing to go home. This time Emma didn't hurry to follow. After all, she knew where my house was. She talked with Lily and Madison a bit after school. Then on the way, she said goodbye to them. When she knocked on the door arriving home, she discovered I'd already started cooking dinner. When we ate together, Emma wanted to find a topic to talk about. She asked, "Interested in the sports meet? You're so good at sports. If you participate you'll definitely win some gold medals." But I shook my head, not interested. What about Ashley then? Do you think she wants to participate? Emma didn't give up. She thought of Ashley. After all, Ashley could match me in sports. Competing in women's events definitely wouldn't be a problem. But if that day, she doesn't pretend to be sick to skip, that would be good. She probably won't want to sign up for sports events. Emma became interested. You think she can't participate? Then I can bet with you. If she wants to participate, then I'll participate too. Okay. Hearing this, Emma smiled and nodded. Okay. Then let's decide that. Though she didn't know if she could persuade Ashley. But if she could persuade her, she could invite one more person. With these two capable assistants, feeling this small competition wouldn't be difficult at all. After finishing eating, Emma and I sat studying at the desk. Now I had to use every second and minute. With Emma's help, I didn't encounter any blockages. Study efficiency was very high. Emma glanced at the surroundings, then looked at me. She seemed to want to say something but stayed silent. After a few seconds of hesitation, she slowly spoke. "Can I take a shower?" "Of course, go ahead." Hearing that, I couldn't help but be stunned a bit. Shower then shower, why ask? Why need to ask? And Emma of course had a reason to ask. She couldn't possibly really treat this as her own home. Yeah, okay. Emma gently stood up heading toward the bathroom. She seemed a bit nervous. Soon, the sound of water from the bathroom rang out. Though the bathroom door was closed tight. But thinking that I was sitting outside, Emma still felt her heart pounding. After finishing her shower, she dried her hair in the bathroom then came out. Discovered I was still sitting there studying. Even my posture hadn't changed. She felt I was really too diligent. If this continued, I'd definitely be exhausted. After all, studying wasn't something that happened overnight. Need to combine work and rest. I see you have a computer in your room. Don't you play games? I play, but exams are coming up. No time. I remembered before, every time I came home I'd play games. Playing games together with Ashley. The result was she didn't affect her studies, still ranked top 20 in class. While I dropped to over 200. Yet she still occasionally went to internet cafes. Actually, you could play a little. Don't need to study constantly, you'll get tired. How about taking a break, play a little? Emma knew I wasn't easily persuaded. After all, I'd already seen her habits. But when she finished saying this, I hesitantly stopped my pen. Looking up at Emma, tentatively asking, "Is it really okay?" Of course, this is to relax your mind. To study better, so listen to her. Yeah, then I'll play a little. After speaking, I immediately stood up and ran into the room. Because since last time I went to the internet cafe with Ashley, I hadn't played games anymore. Every day hearing Emma talk about games, I really felt unbearably itchy. Now hearing Emma say playing games a bit is fine, I'd naturally listen. Our class has a top 5 student. If the class top 5 says so, definitely can't be wrong. At this moment Emma was a bit surprised. Didn't expect I'd actually listen to her. Or maybe I really wanted to play games a bit. Finally, Emma also came into the room with me. Seeing I'd already turned on the computer, she sat beside the bed, wanting to see what I'd play. The result was the game I opened she didn't understand at all. Seemed like I just opened a chat window with someone. Then I put the headphones on the desk. Turned the volume up to maximum. Can you hear? Hearing the sound, Emma was a bit surprised. Because from the headphones came Ashley's voice. Oh, I can hear it. Why are you online today? Aren't you supposed to be studying hard? Isn't it about balancing work and rest? Help me do the quest. I've been waiting for you. Emma stood beside, silently watching me. Seeing me absorbed in gaming, she didn't dare speak up, afraid Emma would hear. But at this moment the sound from the headphones suddenly changed to another female voice. Is this Nathan? Hearing that, I hurriedly replied. Yes, it's me, it's Nathan. My voice was gentle and careful. Emma heard me speak like this for the first time, feeling like discovering another side of me. Really very interesting. Just now it seemed like your voice. When will you visit? So both aunt and uncle miss you. Come over, I'll make something delicious for you. The woman's voice was very gentle. The tone gentle, just like my mother. Oh, aunt, I'll come next weekend, already promised. I'll go grocery shopping next weekend. Don't not come, okay? Emma heard, but her eyes couldn't help showing a bit of envy. Is this what having family feels like? Having someone care for you, someone who worries about you. Though she lives alone here, there are still people who remember her. Not like me. Every time I think about recent events, my heart feels like it's breaking. Emma lowered her head, her heart aching, burning hot. Her eyes seemed covered by something misty. I also sensed. At this moment, Emma's mood seemed unstable. Then, I ended the conversation with my aunt, turned off the game and computer in front of me. Emma hurriedly turned away. She didn't want me to see her current expression, though she'd been trying to look forward. But when remembering old things, she still couldn't control wanting to cry. What could she do? She's just a girl who recently came of age. At this moment, I looked at her. Softly said, I think you need to talk to me. Talk about what? Emma just opened her mouth. Immediately tears fell non-stop. Her nose felt stinging, so her voice was also a bit choked. Of course, about your situation. You definitely have many things you haven't said clearly, right? For example, why don't you have a place to live? Though I had many doubts in my heart, I still didn't ask, knowing this would hurt Emma. But today, I felt it was time for her to speak out. After all, at least having someone listen would make her feel better. I don't want to say. Emma lowered her head very low. Tears kept falling non-stop. She whispered while sobbing. Perhaps I guessed Emma didn't want to say. I stood up, walked to the bedside, gently placed my hand on Emma's shoulder. Didn't you want to look forward? Then you definitely have to speak out. Don't need to bear this sadness alone. You can tell me anytime. At least there's one person who understands your feelings. Emma raised her head. Tears still pooled at the corners of her eyes. But when she saw my gaze, the sadness in her heart suddenly lessened by half. I don't have a place to live. Because I don't have a home anymore. That house isn't mine. I can't stay there, no matter whose it is. I was a bit surprised. Seemed like there were still hidden difficulties in this story. I took tissues. Told Emma to wipe her tears. When she calmed down a bit, she slowly spoke. My family is a remarried family. My mother brought me to live together. My father also has a child. But that child is from my father's ex-wife. They've passed away. My father's ex-wife has brought her son to occupy the house. Because my father's name is on the deed. And he's the co-owner. When they divorced, they demanded the house. But now they've come to reclaim the house. I can't do anything, so I have nowhere to live. Hearing this, I frowned. My face looked very ugly. Isn't this taking advantage during difficult times? Could it be they don't plan to compensate you at all? Emma, almost completely desperate, shook her head. I also felt my question was meaningless. If they could do this, then how could we hope for their conscience? My mother married my father. But they didn't get approval from relatives. So now no relatives are willing to help me. They all call me a bastard child. What about your biological father? I can't find him, no way to contact. It's been many years since I've seen him. Moreover, even if I met him, he wouldn't care about me. Emma spoke out. Clearly her emotions had stabilized much more. Perhaps these words had been bottled up in her heart for too long, really making her unable to bear it. I silently nodded, as if I understood what Emma was going through. I really didn't expect Emma had to carry such life burdens, having gone through such things, and in the heavy rain with nowhere to go. Even might not survive the next day. She just cried. She didn't take revenge on society. Didn't give up, didn't commit suicide. Now she can even go to school normally. Can still see a smile on her face. I felt she was strong enough. Strong enough to make me reflect on myself. Really admirable. Thinking of this, I'd already decided in my heart. Because heaven arranged for me to help Emma. Moreover, such a wonderful girl. She shouldn't be blocked by external factors. From her path forward, I patted Emma's shoulder, said, "You don't need to worry about anything anymore. I'll help you solve everything. Food, shelter, I'll take care of it for you. You don't need to worry about living expenses either. I'll help you, until you can earn a living and support yourself. Just focus on studying and living well." Emma raised her head, her eyes suddenly full of astonishment. Her whole face showed disbelief. She opened her mouth stunned, eyes wide open too. I can't bear to see such an excellent student crushed by life. Don't worry. My family's conditions are quite good. Every month I receive quite a lot of living expenses. If you want to play games, just look at my game equipment and you'll see. Every month I'll give you half my living expenses. Emma hurriedly shook her head, refusing. No, I can't accept it. We're just classmates. I can't accept this. She couldn't believe I could say such words to her. We're just high school classmates. Moreover, for 2 years at school we barely interacted. Now I could say these words. That I'd support her. All right, don't argue anymore. You know you can't win against me. My biggest flaw is being stubborn. Emma understood this clearly. She couldn't argue with me. And now, she had to rely on others to live. So the most important thing was to listen to this landlord. She lowered her head, her voice as small as a mosquito's. Then what do I need to do? I scratched my head, surprised. Do what? When a man supports a woman, isn't there something expected? Emma knew if she accepted, she'd definitely have to pay a corresponding price. After all, nothing comes free. When she said this, her face turned red all the way to her ears. She didn't dare look into my eyes anymore. I stroked my chin, calmly said, "Calling it supporting isn't quite right. But I really do need you to do some things." You say it." Emma's face was red as a tomato, trembling like a frightened fawn, but still trying to make sounds from her throat. Now for her, this opportunity was very precious. She had to survive. Then she could think about other things, like studying, honor, even her body. If it was someone else, perhaps she'd refuse without hesitation. But toward me, She accepted in her heart, without hesitation. I nodded, yeah. My family said if this exam doesn't improve 50 ranks, living expenses will be cut. So for our living expenses, help me review. Try to help me improve my scores before the monthly exam. On the other side, Lily suddenly woke from her dream. Suddenly sat up, feeling her body drenched in cold sweat. It was now late at night. The room unusually quiet. Only the sound of the clock ticking. Lily breathed heavily, trying to adjust her breathing. After calming down, she hurriedly grabbed the phone beside her bed. Found there was still only one unread message. A text message. She put the phone down. Her mind still continuously recalling the dream just now. The scene didn't know if it was because before sleeping, she was still thinking about it. That dream was about us. The dream retold everything about us meeting, knowing each other, completely remembering everything. And things that never existed. Even in the dream we were together. Our relationship getting better and better. But the happiness didn't last long. Between us appeared a person. This person broke our relationship. That person was Emma, so she suddenly woke up. Initially, she decided to give up on me. But now, Lily didn't understand why. In her heart at this moment she wanted to see me immediately. So in the end still couldn't let go of me? Lily looked at her phone. Still hadn't received any response to the message. Remembering how she wanted to talk to me but was refused. Still, she didn't want to give up now. Even decided. Must try before graduation. Isn't it just pursuing someone? Didn't I also pursue her for 2 years? So if she turns around to pursue me, what's wrong with that? Being seen as a joke, then let them see. She thought for a while. Right now for her, the biggest enemy was my desk mate. Our relationship was so good she couldn't understand. We even had very similar personalities and mindsets. Making her feel, perhaps the very next moment, we'd be together. So now she needed help. And in her heart, definitely not a rival. With 0 danger level, Emma naturally became the first choice. Emma, I really need your help now. The next day, early morning, Emma and I went to school together. But looking at Emma today, her state was completely different from yesterday. Seemed like many pressures had been released. She looked very relaxed. Her face even showed a light smile. Today is Saturday. Afternoon we'll have off. Tomorrow we'll have off. These 2 days are very important. Thanks for helping me review. Emma glanced at me, nodded lightly, gently replied okay. This morning going to school, we kept distance from each other. This was Emma deliberately doing so. Seemed afraid Lily would see and be suspicious. But this morning, Emma walked with me, not just walking together, but also not slowing down at all. I looked at her doubtfully. Asked, aren't you afraid of being seen by others? Going to school together? Not afraid? What's wrong with going to school with a classmate? Emma also agreed. We both entered the school. At this moment we saw a familiar figure suddenly appeared ahead. When seeing that person, Emma immediately brightened. Must be Ashley. Yeah, that's right. I immediately saw that figure. Indeed it was Emma. So can I go talk to her? Sure. After getting permission, Emma excitedly ran toward Ashley. She didn't forget my promise yesterday. If Ashley could participate in the sports competition, then I would participate too. Because I dared to bet. That proved, she definitely couldn't refuse no matter how much persuading. So she decided to execute a small plan at 10 o'clock. Help me improve my scores before the monthly exam. Emma ran to Ashley's side. Greeted her with a hi. At this moment, Ashley was just blowing bubblegum. The bubble as big as a fist. As a result, Emma's greeting startled her. The bubblegum popped with a bang, sticking to the corner of her mouth. Oh sorry, it's fine, Ashley coldly replied. Then took the gum wrapper, blew the gum out and wrapped it up to put in her pocket. Emma was about to say something, when Ashley suddenly came close, making her panic, forgetting what to say. The distance between them only 1 step apart. She leaned over sniffing Emma's body. Then sniffed her hair. Slightly frowning, she smiled knowingly. Emma felt that smile was a bit creepy. She forced a smile, trying to stay calm, asking, what's wrong? You're staying with Nathan, how does it feel? Emma after reacting, immediately turned pale. Her face first turned ashen, then flushed red. How did you know I'm staying at Nathan's house? I guessed, after all the scent on you and Nathan. Exactly the same. Even the scent in your hair is like his. Same men's shampoo. Plus the same body wash too. I guess you two definitely aren't in that kind of relationship. So I'm certain. You're currently staying at his house. Well, I just guessed. What if it's really just a coincidence? Then I'll just apologize. It's no big deal. I'm not Sherlock Holmes. If I guess wrong, it's normal. Even though I teased you. You already admitted it. Ashley's face had a meaningful smile. She looked very satisfied, like a child successful with their prank. Emma immediately shut her mouth. Her face alternating between white and red looked really interesting. This was the first time she truly felt what it's like to be defeated by intelligence. She realized maybe I was right. If she stayed with Ashley too long, she'd definitely feel inferior. At this moment Emma wanted to say something, but her mind had no words left to say. She knew saying anything was useless. Ashley would definitely see through it. Might even be tricked again. But Ashley had no intention of letting Emma off. She directly grabbed Emma's wrist tightly, smiled wickedly, then said softly, "All right. You have to tell me. Why are you staying at Nathan's house? Surely, you already know what kind of relationship Nathan and I have, right?" Then, on the way to class, Emma told Ashley how she met me, and then stayed at my house. Just didn't mention last night's events. She only said she's currently staying at my house. After hearing Emma's difficult story, Ashley also showed a serious expression. The teasing expression from earlier was gone. I see, that's unfortunate. Ashley gently patted Emma's shoulder. Didn't say anything comforting. Emma also understood. After all, she was very similar to me in this regard. After entering class, both returned to their seats. As for me, I found Ashley sitting in her seat, looking unwell. So I looked at her suspiciously. "What's wrong?" Ashley glanced at me, then said softly, "I wondered why you weren't playing games with me. Turns out you're hiding a girl at home." I frowned slightly. In just a few seconds I understood how to respond. I knew I couldn't hide this from Ashley for long. Sooner or later she'd find out. I'd have to apologize. I can't take the teasing. Ashley chuckled, lips curving up. Fine. Then I won't tease you anymore." "What do you mean?" "I heard about the class president's situation. I support what you're doing." At this moment I looked at Ashley. After a long while slowly opened my mouth saying, "You agree? If it were you, you wouldn't do what I did, right? Though your approach is very much your style." I paused. "But I wouldn't do that. Unless what? Unless you plan to be with her later." Regarding Ashley, I didn't respond, but turned to look toward Emma. At this moment Emma also turned to look at me. After a long stare, Emma showed a light smile. Just a few seconds later, she'd already turned back. My teeth were grinding in my mouth. My gaze became deep, as if thinking about something. Right after I spoke up saying, "That's why I am me. And you are you, we're not the same. Of course there's no standard to judge right or wrong. You just need to do what you think is right." Ashley leaned back in her chair nodding in agreement with my words. Then added, "Even so, I also find her quite cute. Feels silly, especially adorable. Teasing her is very fun." "That's right, to you everyone is silly. By the way, you're also hitting on me. Just by the way. Don't do that again, or I'll get goosebumps." Ashley and I looked at each other. Ashley directly cleared her throat, waved her hand. After school, Emma planned to go to the office alone, to ask about things related to next month's exam. However, when she walked out of the office, she found someone standing there, head down waiting. What are you doing here?" "Waiting for you. Is something wrong?" "Yeah, let's walk and talk." The two walked leisurely down the hallway. Lily remembered her determination last night. Said, "Emma, I'm not giving up. I want to try pursuing him." "Oh, then you try." Lily didn't expect Emma to agree so quickly. She thought Emma would advise her to give up. "Really, you agree? You really think I can do it?" "I don't know. But if you want to try, it's better than having regrets later." "Yeah, you're right." Lily received Emma's support. Immediately her mood became extremely confident. After all, without empathy and support, there'd be no confidence at all. You'll help me, right? At this moment Emma was stunned hearing this. She didn't want to get involved. But seeing Lily's hopeful eyes, she couldn't bear to refuse. All right, but what can I help you with? Didn't I already help you talk to him before? It failed. Yeah, Lily pondered. Emma showed a somewhat difficult expression. Because she knew, no matter what, I wouldn't give Lily another chance. And Lily was her friend. She'd been trying to help Lily bother me. What if I hated her? On one side was her good friend. On the other side was me. To be honest, Emma still didn't know even now what the relationship between her and me was. Were we classmates, friends, or roommates? Suddenly Lily stared at Emma. Said, "You help me block Ashley." Block Ashley for what? I feel she's my biggest enemy. You just need to try to approach her. Distract her attention. For you that's not hard, right? No, not easy at all. Time passed quickly, reaching lunchtime. At this moment I was on my way back from the bathroom. Suddenly heard a weak call from behind. Nathan. When I turned around and saw who was behind, I couldn't help but frown. Lily at school before appeared to be my classmate, but always pretended not to know me. Seemed like she'd never called my name in the hallway. Something like this had almost never happened. I felt it was a bit strange. Made me feel something wasn't right. Right now she seemed like she wanted to say something to me, but also seemed unable to speak out. She was flustered, embarrassed. Didn't dare look me in the eye. At this moment Lily saw me leave class. And leave Ashley. She immediately knew this was her chance. So she immediately acted. At this moment, Emma was in class, following her plan, restraining Ashley. Emma sat in my seat. Looking at Ashley beside her, seemed to want to say something but stopped. Ashley put down her pen. Looked up and asked, "What are you doing, Ashley? You must play games with Nathan often, right?" Ashley was stunned a bit. Then nodded. "Yeah, why, jealous? Is she jealous?" No, I'm not jealous. Not jealous at all," Emma hurriedly explained. Ashley suddenly came close, eyes seriously looking at Emma. Those panicked eyes. "So what's wrong?" Emma felt even more panicked. Both ears started turning red. A few seconds later, Ashley turned away and laughed softly. "It's fine, just joking." Emma at this moment was like stone, face frozen, feeling like her heart was about to stop. At this moment Emma really wanted to tell Lily, "Why don't you try once? Keep Ashley here for a while." Not being teased to death by her would be lucky. However, Ashley suddenly became serious, lowered her head and her voice deepened. Said to Emma, "Nathan said you have feelings for someone else. Who is it? Do you want to know?" "Who?" Emma's eyes widened, unable to believe it. Ashley shook her head saying, "Can't say, better not. He told me not to tell anyone." "Got it, don't make him angry." Emma gently bit her lip. After a long while, she still opened her mouth saying, "I promise I won't tell anyone." Ashley thought for a moment. Then nodded in agreement. "All right." Then waved her hand, signaling Emma to come closer. Emma leaned her ear close. Ashley whispered in her ear, "Who does he have feelings for?" "I don't know, but I see you clearly have feelings for him." At this moment Emma lowered her head on my desk. Both ears exposed, flushed red. Small feet continuously rubbing on the floor. Ashley laughed until tears came out before stopping. Reached out to gently pat Emma's shoulder. All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You're really too easy to tease." "I couldn't help it." Emma slightly moved her shoulder, as if protesting Ashley's apology, because she felt she was too naive. Being teased by Ashley without being able to react. Felt very embarrassed, wanted to find a hole to crawl into. Ashley also felt she might have teased too much, so automatically comforted, "Don't be angry. Actually I think he definitely has some feelings for you too. Otherwise why would he let you stay at his house? If I had to choose, who would be most suitable with Nathan? I'd choose you." Hearing this, Emma slowly raised her head, looking at Ashley beside her with doubtful eyes. "Are you teasing me again?" "No, this time I'm sincere. I swear." The smile on Ashley's lips made Emma believe her words. Emma's feeling at this moment was even more trustworthy than when Ashley was serious. All right, I'll try. Emma stood up. She thought for a moment, then reacted. Maybe she was tricked by Ashley. Sitting here for less than 2 minutes felt like being completely deceived. Why did I confess having feelings for Nathan? And because of Ashley's support, she felt very happy for herself, but also made herself lose too much face. Since when were you interested in not eating? Facing the problem, Emma stood still for a moment. At this moment her mind suddenly went blank. Right. Since when did she have such feelings? Was it last night when I said those words to her? Those promises made then? Or when I made lunch for her? Like when I treated her like a child? Or since I brought her home, made food for her, when she was cold and hungry? When I got hot water and tried to keep her? After thinking for a while, Emma seemed to understand everything. This feeling didn't suddenly appear at some particular moment. Definitely since I met him. That feeling slowly began to grow. I can't deny that. From the beginning I started having feelings for him. Then each day that feeling grew stronger. Until now I still have to admit, I'd be happy when he rejected Lily. I'd breathe a sigh of relief knowing about his and her relationship. Even feel worried when female students in class come talk to him. If these things don't prove I have feelings for him, then I'm someone who refuses to acknowledge reality. Since I stayed at his house, Emma honestly answered. She wasn't worried at all, not embarrassed. Because everything now was given to her by me. Oh, is that so? So are you really willing? Emma was startled a bit. Asked off key, what do you mean? Ashley pointed with her pen to the empty space in front. Said, I know what you came here for. Lily already went out. Probably looking for Nathan. These past few days she's been secretly watching Nathan. Also keeping an eye on me. With her way of thinking, she definitely thinks I'm her rival. Then had you come here to talk to me, so she could go find Nathan, preventing me from suddenly going out and meeting them. Right? Emma was stunned. Mouth agape but still couldn't say a word. Ashley raised her hand to stop her. Said, you don't need to say anything to me. Whether it's right or not doesn't matter. It doesn't concern me anyway. I just accidentally bothered you earlier. Wanted to help you a little. I know you did it for friendship. But if she really worried about one thing, Ashley said, that made her completely silent. Her mind at this moment had no ability to control itself. Everything in her head was chaotic. Ashley saw Emma not responding, shook her head and said, of course I don't understand love. If you're willing, consider I never said anything. Emma took a deep breath, bit her lower lip tightly, lowered her head and clenched her fists under the desk. The grip so strong her hands turned pale. Her heartbeat also gradually quickened. At this moment I was called back by Lily. Initially I didn't plan to pay attention. But she suddenly rushed over, grabbing my sleeve, pulling me to the stairs, saying she wanted to talk. I didn't dare use force to shake her hand off, afraid she'd fall. After all, with a girl I still couldn't bear to act so forcefully. Nathan, speak. I frowned, my voice somewhat annoyed. Though in this moment, Lily felt a bit scared and unfamiliar. But she remembered last night's dream. At this point couldn't back down anymore. She said, I know. Before I promised you many times I'd be with you. But broke my promise again and again. Now saying anything can't make up for the hurt I caused. But I still hope you can give me a chance. Can we still be friends like before? No. I'm serious, I don't need to explain anything more. I feel explaining anything is useless. After speaking, I turned to leave. But Lily clearly had no intention of letting this rare chance go. She stepped forward, reaching out to grab my arm. Then what should I do? Can you forgive me? I frowned, shaking my arm hard. Like this, I couldn't escape from Lily. The feeling of her clinging made me feel crazy. I thought to myself, why is Lily a girl? If she were a boy, I'd have used violence to solve this long ago. Now just hoping class would start quickly. So you were here. At this moment, the two suddenly heard a familiar voice. Turning around, I saw Ashley. Don't know when she arrived. Behind her was Emma too. Ashley said, I need to find you for something, come with me. Ashley almost ignored Lily. Didn't bother paying attention. She stepped up and pulled me away, only leaving Lily standing there stunned. Emma walked over, softly saying sorry. Sorry, I couldn't stop Ashley. I couldn't do anything else. At this moment I breathed a sigh of relief. Thanks Ashley, I said softly. However, Ashley glanced back and said, no need to thank me. I was just helping one person. I owe her. Around 4:30 p.m. Saturday, school ended. I was worried about being held back by someone again. So right after school ended, I hurriedly left the classroom. Emma finished packing her things. Seeing Lily's mood wasn't good. She didn't know how to comfort her. This afternoon's incident seemed to affect her greatly. Emma shifted her gaze, looking toward Ashley who was preparing to leave. Then, she slowly followed. When they left the classroom building, Emma immediately approached Ashley. Ashley said, thank you for this afternoon. At that time, she'd thought for a long time. Decided to ask Ashley for help. Ashley understood. She wanted to maintain her friendship with Lily. Didn't want Lily to contact me. So Ashley proposed she be the villain in this matter. After all, didn't Lily already see Ashley as a rival? So just let her continue thinking that. Then came this afternoon's scene. It's nothing, don't mention it, just compensating her. Given the current situation, helping her is the right thing to do. Emma now truly felt it was nothing. At least, right now she and Ashley could only be considered friends. The teasing matters. She didn't care anymore. Emma suddenly thought of something and asked, oh by the way, tomorrow's a day off, do you have anything to do? No, if staying home playing games counts as something then yes. Then, do you want to come to Nathan's house? Let's play together, the more the merrier, right? Ashley looked at Emma strangely. Her gaze, as if doubting whether what Emma said was real. After all, it's a rare day off. Shouldn't the two of you stay home alone together? Isn't the story about reviewing? I told him yesterday about balancing work and rest. He really agreed. Ashley nodded in response. Then I'll come tomorrow. Oh right. Emma thought of something else. She took out from her pocket the phone I'd given her. Can you add me as a friend? Yeah, sure. Ashley also took out her phone and we added each other as friends. Making friends with classmates, for Emma, was clearly a very simple thing. And normal thing. But now, when befriending Ashley, she felt very happy. Emma and Ashley walked together. What's going on? I don't understand. Why isn't Nathan walking with them? At this moment, behind Emma and Ashley, two people were following. One of them was Ryan. Today when he saw Emma sitting in my seat, Ryan felt something was off. This afternoon, after school, Ryan secretly followed. Though he really wanted to know what they were saying. But didn't dare get too close. To avoid being unable to explain clearly later. Until Emma and Ashley said goodbye and left. Lucas patted Ryan's shoulder. Said, all right, let's go home too. Go any further and we'll be in someone's living room. Let's follow one more time. I want to know where her house is. Lucas was so surprised he couldn't believe it. Are you sick? Following a female classmate home. What about political studies then? No, I just want to give her a gift. In class in front of everyone she definitely won't accept. I think leaving a gift at her door is more reasonable. Oh God, you're both sick and creepy. Finally Ryan saw Emma enter the 6th floor. Then pulled Lucas to turn back. Come with me to look at gifts. I want to surprise her tomorrow. Lucas had nothing to say. Sighed, as if he'd given up. In class, Lily was so worried that even packing up was slower. Madison walked over with her backpack. Surprised looking at Lily. What's wrong? Right now it feels like being kicked out. Lily suddenly raised her head. With a desperate face looking at Madison. Oh, Madison immediately covered her mouth. Realizing she seemed to have said the right thing. Emma came home. Saw homework already spread out on the desk. Seemed like I'd already started studying. Thinking about today's events. Emma's heart was now full of regret. She knew clearly, I didn't want any connection with Lily anymore. Yet she not only knew but said nothing. And supported Lily. If I discovered this, she'd definitely face the same result as Lily. What's wrong? I looked at Emma suspiciously. Standing at the door, not knowing what she was thinking. No, Nothing, she'd already decided in her heart. Definitely wouldn't make such a mistake again. Though Lily was her friend. But considering importance, I was still more important in her heart. Emma hurriedly put her things down. Sat beside me saying, "Let me help you review." At this moment I had to admit, having Emma teach me was really a great idea. At least it gave me a ray of hope. After all, with my previous study progress, just not dropping ranks in this monthly exam would be lucky. Not to mention improving 50 ranks. I looked at Emma beside me. Suddenly thought of this afternoon's events. Emma came with Ashley. I only knew I was bothered by Lily. Which meant Emma also knew. Then, I spoke. "You and Lily are good friends, right?" "Oh, yes." Emma was stunned. Then answered softly. She felt a bit uneasy inside. Feeling like I already knew something. She was afraid I'd blame her. For a moment, all possibilities appeared in her mind. Maybe I'd kick her out. Or from now on treat her as a stranger. Put her on the same level as Lily. After a while, I continued. Consider this doing me a favor. Don't let her bother me anymore. She's a girl, I can't do anything. You have to persuade her. I'm begging you. Emma was a bit stunned. Silent for a few seconds before reacting. You're begging me for help? That's right, girls should be handled by girls. Ashley isn't close with her. I can only trust you. Emma felt relieved inside. Also felt my trust. She nodded. Seriously said, "Don't worry. As long as I'm here, I absolutely won't let her bother you anymore." Yeah, thanks, having solved the Lily matter. Now Emma was thinking whether she should tell me about inviting Ashley over. After all, this was my house. She'd only thought about the relationship between Ashley and me. Figured I wouldn't object. So she decided on her own. Thinking about it now, better to ask me first. That's not urgent. I invited Ashley to come over tomorrow. You agree, right? Emma lowered her head slightly. She was afraid I wouldn't agree. Afraid she was wrong. After all, she was just staying here. Had to be careful and cautious about everything she did or said. However, I turned back to continue writing. Said, "Of course, that's fine. I should thank you. When I started 10th grade, her mother once told me, hoping I'd help her make some friends, so she wouldn't be lonely at school with no one to talk to. But she overestimated me. So these 2 years, I was the only one who played with her. You befriend her. Don't look at her appearance of not caring about anything. Actually, in her heart, she's definitely very happy." Emma's eyes widened, a bit unable to believe. Was the truth really as I said? She only knew she was very happy herself. But looking at Ashley seemed like she didn't care at all. "It's fine," I heard her say. "She quite likes you." Really? Emma immediately became happy hearing this. Her eyes shining with joy. She'd been worried whether Ashley would hate her. But now hearing me say this, she immediately felt relieved. Around 7 p.m., we were both a bit hungry. I was about to stand up saying I'd make dinner. Emma pulled me back saying, "Let me do it, aren't you trying to study?" Then she added, "Don't know if it'll suit your taste." "It's fine, you try." I didn't mind. Because I really wanted to use the time to study. If Emma wasn't here, actually I just want to make a bowl of instant noodles. Emma went to the kitchen. Remembering times at home before. She often cooked for her parents. Just a pity there's no chance for that anymore. Though I wanted to study more. But my attention still sometimes got pulled toward the kitchen. Because I'd never seen Emma cook. Worried if she'd do something wrong, make inedible food. Or some accident might happen. But fortunately everything went quite smoothly. About an hour later, I smelled the aroma from the kitchen. Emma brought the food to the table. Called me once. I put down my pen and stood up, seeing the dishes on the table. White rice and 2 dishes, all colorful, fragrant and beautiful. Doesn't look bad at all. Try it, Emma smiled saying. Telling me to sit down. Picking up chopsticks, I tried a bite. First frowned slightly, then silently nodded praising. Yeah, very good. Really? It's good you like it. Emma immediately felt relieved. She was confident in her cooking skills. But still worried I wouldn't like it. Now that it met the standard, nothing was more important. Emma also sat down preparing to eat. Said, "If you like it, I'll cook for you from now on." This way you'll save more time. I didn't respond immediately, but raised my head looking at my workout area. Indeed, it had been a long time since I had time to exercise. But in my heart, Emma was still a guest after all. How could I let a guest cook? After hesitating a while, I slowly spoke. Let's take turns. Once a day, or once every 2 days is fine. Emma sat up straight. After a while, she seemed to understand my meaning. Nodded. Yeah, okay. After eating, we continued studying. Around 10 p.m., we took turns showering. After I came out of the bathroom, sat at the desk and picked up my pen. I'd wanted to study a few more hours. But suddenly sleepiness hit. That feeling spread, slowly invading my whole mind. Time passed, my eyelids grew heavier. I knew this was because I hadn't slept enough all week. That's why my mind was exhausted. Also thinking tomorrow was a day off. Today school ended early too. I couldn't resist the drowsiness anymore. So I quickly stood up and went to the bedroom. I didn't even pull the blanket over myself. Just closed my eyes and fell fast asleep. At this moment, Emma was still showering in the bathroom. She didn't know I'd already gone to the bedroom. When she finished showering, put on pajamas and came out of the bathroom. She found no one outside. My seat was empty. The book on the desk still open. She was a bit surprised, not knowing where I'd gone. Emma walked into the bedroom. Saw me lying on the bed. Eyes closed, breathing steadily. She gently walked to the bedside. Then pulled the blanket over me, saying, "Good night." Emma turned off the bedroom light. Got in bed on the other side. Now, she wasn't worried like the first night anymore. Lying in bed felt like being at home. Felt very secure. But compared to my deep sleep, Emma wasn't sleepy at all right now. She started thinking about today's events. Could say today, for her, the most valuable thing was becoming friends with Ashley. Emma thought about what I'd said to her. Still couldn't quite believe it. The person who seemed hardest to approach in her impression. Was Ashley really happy to be friends with her? Emma took out her phone. Opened Ashley's profile page. Found like me, her profile was completely empty. If it was Lily, her profile page would definitely have lots of photos. Delicious food and beautiful scenery from trips. Emma thought to herself. At this hour Ashley definitely wasn't asleep yet. Suddenly she had an idea. To message Ashley. She hesitated a bit. Felt just a simple greeting would be fine. If she was busy she wouldn't reply. Then, she sent a greeting emoji. After sending turned off the phone. Feeling a bit expectant but also worried. Because Ashley was someone she couldn't figure out. She didn't know if she'd reply. How she'd reply. About 2 minutes later, Emma's phone rang. She hurriedly opened her phone. Found it was indeed Ashley's message. "What's up? At this hour shouldn't you be hugging Nathan sleeping? Why do you have time to message me?" Emma's eyes widened, unable to believe looking at the message on her phone. Immediately glanced behind. Good thing I hadn't woken up. If I saw this sentence, she'd definitely die without a burial place. What hugging and sleeping? We sleep separately. There's a blanket barrier between us. You two really sleep in the same bed? Emma suddenly realized. Ashley only knew she was staying at my house, but didn't know where she slept. Now hadn't she exposed herself? Emma also understood explaining was useless. So she told Ashley the truth. At first she planned to sleep on the sofa. But I didn't agree. So both sides kept pushing back and forth. Finally both slept on the bed. So you two are sleeping in the same bed anyway. Ah, just confirm the relationship directly. The message on the phone made Emma's heart pound. But before she could recover, the phone suddenly fell from her hand. Her body froze. Because at this moment, my arm was placed on her body. Right now it felt like I was hugging her sleeping. Emma slowly turned her head, looking at my face, only about 10 centimeters away from her. Though this was my unconscious action while sleeping. But what should she do now? Should she wake me up? She could think about how this week, because of her, I'd endured so much stress and exhaustion. Emma looked up at the dark ceiling. She wasn't very sleepy originally. Now in this situation it made it even harder to sleep. Feeling my strong arm made her feel very safe. She even started imagining if she lay in my arms, it would definitely feel very secure. So 20 minutes passed. Emma still didn't move. However, at this moment my arm moved again. From Emma's stomach, slowly moving up to her chest. Though there was a blanket barrier, it still made Emma's body tremble slightly. Fortunately, not long after, I turned back over again. This finally helped her tense body relax. Tomorrow he definitely won't remember anything, right? Emma thought to herself. But she wanted me to remember all this. Having persisted this far, finally Emma felt a bit sleepy. Not long after, she fell asleep. A few minutes later, I opened my eyes. My forehead seemed to break out in cold sweat. At this moment I was terrified. Before turning over, I'd actually woken up and realized I was lying in the middle of the bed. My arm was even placed on Emma's body. So I hurriedly turned to face the wall. Really felt my heart pounding. What if Emma wasn't asleep? Tomorrow she won't ask me about this, will she? I pretended not to know I'd slept deeply. The next morning, warm sunlight shone through the curtains, creating a gentle ray. Emma opened her eyes drowsily, pulled the curtains and walked out of the bedroom. At this time I just finished making breakfast. When I brought breakfast to the table, we looked at each other once. In that moment, everything from last night immediately appeared in both our minds. I only had 10 minutes of memory. But I also knew what I'd done last night. And Emma remembering last night's events. Her face couldn't help but turn red. This was the first time in her life being held like that by a boy. And being held in bed. At that time, she clearly felt the size difference between us. If holding me in her arms, definitely for me, she'd just be like a tiny little girl. But anyway, let's eat breakfast. Not sure if it was from awkwardness. This was the first time I greeted Emma good morning. I really felt a bit unaccustomed. Yeah, I'll go wash my face first. Emma also noticed this strangeness. Hurriedly rushed into the bathroom. When she finished washing her face, we sat down at the dining table. Started a silent meal. Around 9:30, Ashley knocked on the door. Emma opened the door, saw Ashley. Immediately smiled, looking very happy. Ashley, you're here? Where's Nathan? He's studying. We just finished breakfast. Ashley walked into the room. Saw me studying at the desk. She put down the things in her hands. Took a paper bag toward me. I looked up, a bit surprised. What's this? My mom knows I'm coming to your place. Told me to bring some food for you. Really, exhausting. Ashley stretched, rubbing her shoulders. Carrying things here. She was already tired from the journey. I looked in the paper bag. Inside were all kinds of food. Fruits, pastries, sunflower seeds, peanuts, 8 treasure porridge, everything. Thank Auntie for me. I put the paper bag on the floor. Then continued studying. Ashley looked at the workbook on the desk, said, "Go play with Emma first. I won't wait for you." I waved, signaling them to go. Though seeing Ashley bring food made me want to play too. But right now reviewing was still most important. Emma didn't know what that was. Looked quite big. However, she saw another box. Seemed to be a gift box. That Ashley brought. Who is this gift for? Emma picked up the gift box, looking at Ashley, and asked. Ashley looked up, replying, "This one? I met 2 fraudsters at the door. One of them is the fraud who sent this to you." "That's right, one is the sports committee leader. One is the life committee leader." Emma didn't understand for a moment. After a while she spoke. "Ryan and Lucas? They're fraudsters?" "No, they were just at the door." The sports committee leader kept lying. Lying without blinking. "He said he heard from Lily you were here. I think he followed you. Following someone to their door. And secretly giving gifts. If this happened to me, I'd definitely call the police." Emma looked at the gift box in her hand. Couldn't help but frown. She didn't expect Ryan to be that kind of person. Moreover, this wasn't her house. It was Nathan's house. This action would definitely cause trouble for me. I stopped writing, looked up at the two. Seemed to be thinking about something. Then I raised my hand gently, asking Ashley, "So, Ryan likes her?" Ashley was surprised. "The whole class knows this." "You don't know?" I shook my head, looking sincere. "Probably about a week ago. Whether Emma or Ryan, I didn't know either. Back then my life was just going to school and confessing to Lily. At home I just played games and exercised. How would I have time to care about others' business? I don't like him. Emma almost said it immediately, her tone very firm. Hearing this, both Ashley and I were stunned, looking at Emma with bewildered expressions. Her reaction was like she was hurriedly explaining. Emma seemed to also realize she'd overreacted a bit. Her cheeks immediately turned red on both sides. I nodded, hesitantly replied, "From what I see, Emma reacting like that must really hate Ryan, to hurriedly explain like that." Ashley raised her hand saying, "Don't worry about this anymore. Open the gift and see." "No, I won't accept his gift. Even if you throw it away, you should open it first. Later at school he'll ask if you received the gift. Like it or not, but you don't even know what's inside. You can't answer. If you were like us, not caring about others' thoughts, then just do that. But aren't you the class president? Don't you have to maintain good relationships with everyone?" Hearing Ashley's words, Emma hesitated a bit. She definitely didn't plan to accept the gift. But Ashley's words made sense. As class president, if there was division in class, it would be her irresponsibility. Then all right. She stood up and walked straight over. "I also want to see what Ryan gave. If this gift is good, I can learn from it." Emma slowly opened the gift box. Ashley and I both craned our necks to look, both curious. Opening it, a mini wooden carousel, an item like this, appeared before the three of us. Seeing this, Ashley and I both frowned. I couldn't help but ask, "What is this?" "Seems to be a music box." Emma took the item out, holding it in her hand. It was about palm-sized, made quite exquisitely. The colors were also very bright. "What kind of gift is this?" Emma frowned, her face full of confusion. Emma held the item in her hand, somehow felt a bit embarrassed, like holding something truly embarrassing. She'd seen me give Lily a whole box full of love letters and gifts. Thinking back now, it was just jealousy. But this gift, she felt truly embarrassed. "Open it and see, maybe there'll be something surprising." "I don't understand either." Following my way of thinking, there must be something interesting inside. Must be some surprise gift. Emma opened the music box. Gentle melodious music played. The carousel began slowly rotating. The colorful lights also lit up. However, the three of us just stood waiting about 2 minutes. But this object didn't change any further. My mouth opened slightly, pointing at that object. Asked softly, "Is this just a music box? Is it reasonable, hard to evaluate? Let me check what a music box means as a gift." Ashley also turned around, took out her phone, trying to act like she hadn't seen. I was also very confused, frowning. If this gift was for normal friends, or for classmates, that's fine. But giving it to someone you like is really too casual. Emma felt extremely helpless at this moment. If she'd known, she wouldn't have opened it. At this moment Emma lowered her head, found there was also a love letter in the gift box. But the content really made her unable to look directly. She'd seen the love letters I sent to Lily. This was far inferior. "All right, tomorrow at school just return it to him. Come here, play games with me." Ashley had now connected the PS5 to the TV in the living room. "Yeah, okay, but I'm not good at gaming." "It's fine, I'll teach you." In front of the TV screen, Ashley excitedly introduced to Emma, while I could only sit at the desk, trying to force myself to focus on studying. About an hour later, Emma walked over to me, asked softly, "Do you want to rest a bit, play games?" "Sure." I didn't hesitate for a second. Immediately threw the pen aside, feeling like there were springs under my butt. Immediately jumped up, rushing to the living room. Emma giggled. She knew I couldn't wait anymore. Then, Emma took my workbook and silently nodded. Clearly I'd improved a lot. At noon, Emma planned to make lunch. But because there were no ingredients in the fridge, she didn't know what food restrictions I had, so had to let me go shopping. After I went out, Emma returned to the living room. Looking toward Ashley, who was playing games alone, she suddenly remembered there was a bet with me. If she could get Ashley to sign up for the sports meet, then I would participate too. Emma looked at Ashley's back and thought seriously. Not long after, the image on TV made an idea flash in her mind. "Let's play with Ashley. Loser gets punished. What do you think?" Ashley turned to look at Emma. You want to challenge me? Forget it, you can't win. Let's try. Emma picked up the controller, preparing to face Ashley. She knew her chances of winning weren't high, but she just needed one small win. Just winning once, she could invite Ashley to participate. Character selection phase. Ashley asked, "What's the acceptable range of punishment?" "Whatever," Emma confidently replied. She was afraid Ashley would refuse to participate when the time came. After all, for her, there definitely wouldn't be any unacceptable punishment. "All right, then I'll do whatever too." Ashley seemed very confident. Very quickly, the first round ended with Emma's defeat. She didn't even last 30 seconds. Emma not only felt embarrassed, she'd thought she'd have some chance, even if she didn't know how to play. The result could be 30 to 70 or 20 to 80. Didn't expect no chance at all. She completely couldn't resist. "I lost, tell me the punishment." "Then continue, let me think." Ashley smiled. Started thinking of punishments. From her expression, Emma felt a bit worried. She didn't know if she'd really make an excessive request. "All right, since it's the first round, I'll punish you lightly. Tomorrow, when returning that gift, in front of classmates facing Ryan, say I don't like this." "Okay, no problem," Emma replied without hesitation. Actually, for her, this wasn't really a punishment. Very quickly, the second round began. This time, Emma concentrated 120% of her spirit. She stared intently at the screen. Her fingers also used more force. Emma felt a bit of hope. Because she'd taken quite a bit of Ashley's health. She thought, this defensive-offensive attack style was very effective. But reality proved, her gaming experience still couldn't compare to Ashley's. The second round, unsurprisingly, lost again. Emma said, again. "What's my punishment?" Ashley was a bit surprised. She asked, surprised, "Still playing? What do you want me to do?" "I'll tell you when I win. The condition is I have to win first." Emma now started feeling less confident. She felt like she ultimately couldn't win even one round. "All right. Then punish you by squatting for a while waiting for me to come back." Ashley paused, hesitated a few seconds, then said, "Later you kiss my hand." "Kiss what?" Emma immediately widened her eyes, face full of disbelief looking at Ashley. She thought Ashley was joking. Ashley hurriedly added, "Just kissing the hand. After all, it's not kissing the face or lips. He'll really be angry. Then he'll definitely pinch my ear and scold me. He'll be angry. That's right, if not boyfriend and girlfriend. He really hates jokes like that. Feels it lacks respect for both sides." "I see," Emma nodded. She'd thought this would make me angry. After hearing, she also breathed a sigh of relief. She also understood my thinking. When not lovers, such jokes really aren't good. Even so, in her heart there was a tiny bit of disappointment. I continued replying. Emma couldn't wait. She immediately started the next round. Felt everything was worth it. After all, it was to meet the requirement. This round just started. Ashley seemed a bit careless. She thought, playing too seriously wouldn't be good. Might dampen Emma's gaming spirit. If she made her angry, that wouldn't be good. Games should be fun. But Emma was still very focused. And progressing quickly. After 2 rounds with Ashley, she'd gained quite a bit of experience. Plus Ashley had let her guard down. She'd taken quite a bit of Ashley's health from the start. Emma was so nervous her hands trembled slightly. She thought now she had to drag out the time. Wait for time to run out. She just had more health than Ashley to win. In the last 10 seconds, Emma stopped defending. Started attacking aggressively, her fingers pressing rapidly like arrows shooting. But right at this moment, the door opened. I walked in carrying groceries from outside. Just arrived. Ashley glanced at me, lost focus, and Emma seized the opportunity. In that brief half-second landed another hit. "Yeah." Emma excitedly jumped up. Her heart felt like it was about to leap out. Because their health bars were almost indistinguishable who had more or less. But fortunately, she still received help from the goddess of luck. She won by a very small margin. I was stunned, not understanding what Emma was cheering about. Why was she suddenly so excited? Was she someone who really liked gaming? To be so happy about winning. Ashley leaned back on the sofa, head tilted back with a helpless expression. If she hadn't deliberately let her win at first, she definitely wouldn't have lost. The important thing was, she really didn't dare to beat Emma. But clearly she didn't understand Emma at all. Emma had already decided in her heart. Even if she kept losing, she wouldn't give up. She had to win at least one round. All right, tell me my punishment. Ashley, seeing Emma so happy. Her spirits weren't too bad either. This was what she thought was the meaning of gaming and punishments. I put the groceries on the table after hearing this. Then walked toward them. Emma at this moment could finally say the plan she'd prepared for so long. Then sign up for the sports meet. Any number of events is fine. Ashley immediately opened her mouth in surprise, looking at Emma with disbelief. She was still wondering what Emma would say about this punishment. Unexpectedly, it was this. For her, this was truly a real punishment. Wait, I don't understand what you're doing. I stood to the side stunned. Just went out to buy groceries. Why? Did things seem to be developing wrongly? Then, Emma told me about the two of them playing games and deciding punishments. She lost the first 2 rounds and won this round. That was the punishment just given. When I heard Ashley lost, my face immediately filled with surprise. Staring at Ashley and saying loudly, Ashley, you lost again? Are you an idiot? What does this have to do with you? Ashley looked at me confused, asking, her face showing some displeasure, while I looked truly helpless at this moment. Using my hand to cover my forehead, I clearly knew why Emma made this request. Because of the letter secretly given to me. Emma was very happy now, looking at Ashley expectantly, asking, will you accept? She knew the 2 previous punishments Ashley hadn't taken seriously. Maybe Ashley thought it was just playing. The result was dropping such a heavy bomb. Even Ashley was surprised. Ashley glanced at her, muttering, if I'd known you'd play this big, my punishment should have been harder. It's fine. You can refuse too. Emma also felt a bit embarrassed. After all what others said, and what she said were completely different. She just wanted Ashley to participate, but also thinking from the class's perspective. She didn't want to make things difficult for Ashley and me. Ashley waved her hand. It's fine, I'll accept the punishment. After all, I already agreed. Some happy, some sad. Emma smiled and nodded, while I still seemed unable to accept it. Why are you like this? Ashley also felt it was a bit strange, pushing me with her hand, asking, what's wrong, are you not okay? I didn't answer, but Emma told Ashley about the bet between her and me, which meant I also had to sign up for the sports meet. Oh, so you have to sign up too? Ashley immediately became interested after hearing the explanation, her face bright with a spring-like smile. Oh, that's more like it. Now I feel relieved. Ashley nodded, satisfied. Originally what bothered her most was having to watch me mock her. But now I had to participate too. So there was nothing to worry about. Can you tell me what Emma's punishment was? I asked. Ashley and Emma looked at each other. Emma immediately understood. Knowing now was when she had to complete her punishment. She walked up to me. While I was still confused, she slowly took my hand, bent down. Her thin lips gently kissed the back of my hand. I stood there, completely frozen. I didn't understand what she was doing. Was this some ancient ritual? Or a foreign greeting? Emma raised her head, her face slightly flushed, said softly to me, sorry. This was my punishment. I was stunned for a moment before reacting. Slowly glanced at Ashley. Ashley smiled an innocent smile, but her eyes were observing my expression. Though she often teased me, because she knew I didn't care. But if she really made me angry, Ashley would be scared too. Emma had achieved her goal. She spoke up. I'm hungry. I'll go cook. You guys play. After saying that, she immediately ran to the kitchen. She used this method to force Ashley and me onto the trick boat. She was also afraid of being retaliated against. After running to the kitchen, she started self-reflecting, thinking to herself she was really despicable. But at this moment, Ashley and I had no dissatisfaction with Emma. After all, we agreed to the punishment ourselves. And we made the bet ourselves. If we had to blame, We could only blame ourselves for being too hasty. Oh well, we already promised her anyway. After all, this is the last competition in high school. Playing a bit is fine. I sat on the sofa, crossed my legs, muttering a sentence. But actually, this was just self-consolation. Yeah, still have to think about what events to sign up for. She didn't say how many events. So if we sign up for one, is that okay? Got it. Ashley and I looked toward Emma in the kitchen. She was muttering something. If we only sign up for one event, that's easy. For them, it wasn't difficult. So what event will you sign up for? Short distance running is fine. Long distance, forget it. Let the track athletes do it. Ashley, hearing my words, nodded. Said softly, must be big muscles but poor endurance. Indeed, someone like you. Making you run long distance is really too hard. I can do it. Then I'll sign up for long distance. My face was full of question marks. Slowly turned my head, asked confused. What do you mean? I can't run long distance? I'm telling you, I can run too. I often do cardio. Also train legs often. Not running long distance is to give the track athletes a chance to show off. If I participate, they won't have any chance. After saying that, I pulled up my pants, revealing my legs. The muscles on my legs, just moving, was like pulling strings. The lines very clear, looking very powerful. Ashley pretended to be innocent. But do you remember? We once ran a marathon. You ran halfway then. That was because I had low blood sugar, you know. Not because I couldn't run. Ashley took out a lollipop, placed it in my palm, then smiled meaningfully. Oh, is that so? Then this time you eat candy. Watch me run. My eyes widened, expression of disbelief. Then I raised my hand, pointing at Ashley with the candy. Said, I'm really going to sign up for the 1,500 meters long distance. All right, you watch. If I don't get first place, I'll tear apart everything in my account. Ashley took the lollipop, unwrapped it, then directly stuffed it in my mouth. Don't be so stubborn. Really, it's not that I'm saying you can't do it. But that's just the fact. Your muscles are big, consumption must be big too. Also, why do you want to suffer like this? You just need to throw discus. Don't get involved with long distance running. I was angry for a moment. The fire in my heart ignited again. Right after, I took a deep breath. Using a strange tone, slowly spoke. Me throwing discus can at least guarantee you in long distance. But I can't guarantee myself. If you lose, then don't cry. I can't explain to your mom. Hearing this, Ashley immediately changed expression. She crossed her arms, grumbling. Nathan, you only beat me once when we were kids. Do you need to be like this now? Then why do you keep challenging me? You clearly know you can't win but still won't admit it. But you won't accept losing. I reached out my hand, acting like I was the winner of this verbal battle. Very proud. Ashley immediately stood up from the sofa, staring at me. I frowned, lowered my voice saying, fine. Then I'll hold 2 gold medals. See what you'll say then. Just kidding, I'll hold 3. I stretched my hand. Besides signing up for sports events, I also have to perform at the opening ceremony. What will you perform? I've won many art awards since childhood. More than your gaming achievements. So you're really bragging. Emma was busy in the kitchen with the food, completely unaware of what was happening in the living room. When she brought the food out, calling us to eat, but discovered, Ashley and I were standing facing each other. Like 2 enemies confronting each other. Serious faces, sharp gazes. Hey, what are you guys doing? Emma thought Ashley and I were arguing. She hurriedly came over, standing between us. But didn't dare stand too close. After all, if these 2 really argued, she couldn't persuade me either. Suddenly turned to look at Emma. Said, Emma, men's group, sports meet. As long as times don't overlap. Sign up for as many events as you can. Me too. That's right, ask the school. If I can participate in men's competitions. I want to personally beat this person. To let him know that being good at basketball doesn't mean being good at all sports. You too. At this moment, Emma standing in the middle was also shocked. What's wrong with these 2? She'd wanted to use some tricks to get us to participate. was already quite satisfied, thinking each person would hold one. At least 2 gold medals. That would be enough. But while she was cooking, we unexpectedly seemed to be confronting each other. Oh right, the opening ceremony performance hasn't been decided yet, right? I'll sign up for martial arts performance, I'll also sign up for dance. At this moment we both no longer cared about the sports competition anymore, but started aiming at the opening ceremony performance. Emma was also in a difficult position now. After all, these things really had to be decided by her, the class president. But a class could only perform one act. So can you two cooperate on one act together? No way, Emma made the suggestion. Immediately received perfect agreement from Ashley and me. This was when Emma really had a headache. Really, inviting gods was easy. Sending them away was hard. If not satisfied, would these two's luck transfer to her? I'll think about it. You two calm down a bit, let's eat. The sports meet is still far away. Emma raised her hand. One hand grabbed each person's wrist, leading us to the dining table. She could only use delaying tactics now. Temporarily not solving our problem. Delay a day if she could. Maybe in a few days they'd change their minds. Now Emma somewhat regretted getting us to sign up. If she'd known, she'd rather not pull us in. After pulling us in, these two then crazily pushed her into the water. All right. We both nodded in agreement, then sat at the dining table. Ashley picked up chopsticks, looked at me, then asked softly, by the way, I want to eat that eggplant dish you make. When will you make it for me again? Next time, forgot to buy it this time. Or next weekend, I'll come to your house and make it for you. Emma stood by the dining table. Seeing us two just made peace. Her face seemed frozen, standing still, not moving. She was still worried about what to do. Make peace, persuade us not to be angry. But why did we change attitudes so quickly? Why aren't you guys angry anymore? Right, Ashley and I both looked up, looking at Emma, and said, we're just like that. One thing is one thing. Never bringing emotions from one matter into other matters. Now that we've decided not to think about it anymore. Just do it. Besides, we weren't angry. Just normal teasing. Competing a bit. Not to the point of arguing. So that's how it is. Emma slowly sat down, still feeling somewhat unbelievable in her heart. How could these two be like this? Just arguing about this, but right after could normally discuss other things. Were they keeping the argument in their hearts? No wonder when she heard me say before, Ashley and I almost never argued. So it was for this reason. Ashley ate a bite of rice. Immediately her eyes lit up. Looking toward Emma, said, this dish you made is really delicious. Feels similar to Nathan's cooking skills. No way, I don't cook as well as him. But maybe because you can eat anything. The three ate while chatting. Suddenly Emma's phone rang. A video call appeared on the screen. She saw it and looked troubled, frowning. Ashley pointed at the phone asking, what's wrong? Who is it? Emma awkwardly answered, it's Lily. I'll go outside to answer. Emma thought. Answering Lily's call in front of me wasn't appropriate. Plus there was risk of being discovered she lived here. So Emma unconsciously stood up, planning to go outside. But before she could act, I raised my hand saying, it's fine. You just answer the phone here. We'll be quiet. Is that so? Emma, who was standing up, sat back down. If I'd already said so. Then she had to answer the phone here. Emma pressed the accept call button. Right after Lily's face appeared on the screen. Lily. Emma, what are you doing? Emma. I'm at home. Lily. What's up? Emma calmly replied, but her eyes were extremely unnatural, glancing at Ashley and me. Lily seemed to be lying in bed, looking very bored. Lily. Do you want to go out? Let's go shopping. Emma. Not going anywhere. These days I need to review. Monthly exam is coming, isn't it? Lily. Still have to review? So stressful. Emma. What do you expect us to do? Lily. That's right. What do you think Ashley wants to do? Nathan and I were still talking. But she pulled Nathan away without saying anything. Lily. Do you think she realized what I was trying to do? Emma. I don't know. Emma unconsciously looked toward Ashley. Found she had no expression. Still quietly eating. As if completely not caring what Lily said. Lily is really hateful. No wonder no one plays with her. She looks like a scheming woman. Emma. Hey, that's too much. Emma. I think she's quite good. Besides, talking bad about others behind their backs isn't good. I don't agree with your view of Ashley. Emma hurriedly moved the screen. She looked at Ashley with an embarrassed expression. Lily really had no filter. Ashley was right beside her. Ashley only paused slightly but didn't react much. Emma couldn't help but admire. Ashley could really control her emotions well. She truly didn't care about others' gossip. If it were me hearing myself talked about like that, I'd definitely cry immediately. Now I really regret taking this call in the room. Fine then, let's not talk about her. Let's talk about that matter. What do you think he wants to do? Is he playing games with me? I advise you not to chase after him anymore. You and he really aren't compatible. Mentioning me. Emma thought about me asking her for help. I just want to be with him. Quick, think of a way to help me. Lily lay on the bed starting to roll around, holding the phone, while texting Emma while acting spoiled. Emma was completely out of ideas. When someone pursued you for 2 years, you just needed to agree once. Now do you need to worry like this? You wait until they lose patience. Then try to fix things. Then ask him to think of a way. Now she's being fed by me. What way can she think of? But if it really doesn't work, then think about other people. Oh right. Do you think this way is okay? Now he definitely thinks he's hot. Someone likes him, so he's being arrogant. So if I bring him down, wouldn't that work? What are you saying? Emma frowned. A bad feeling suddenly arose in her heart. I can spread rumors to ruin his reputation. That way no one will care about him anymore. When he becomes completely desperate, I'll appear. I guarantee. Then I'll be like an angel in his eyes. You're planning to spread rumors? You still want to ruin his reputation? What are you thinking? At this moment, Emma suddenly became serious. Even her face showed anger. What's wrong? After all, only you and I know. To be honest, now I can only trust you alone, Emma. I don't dare trust anyone else. Moreover, this plan is completely feasible. Nathan, though muscular, has a simple mind. Stupid, definitely won't know this is my plan. Lily, I really misjudged you. If you dare do that, we'll cut off our relationship. And I forbid you from badmouthing Nathan in front of me. Emma shouted angrily, then immediately hung up. She really couldn't stand Lily anymore. Lily was fine as a friend. But how could she be so shameless? If she treated others like that, Emma would just simply look down on her. Advise her, but if she did that to me, Emma absolutely couldn't tolerate it. She could even cut off the relationship. Never interact again. After calming down, Emma raised her head, looking at Ashley and me. Now we were truly angry. Lily's insults and criticisms in the call, as well as judgments, all entered Ashley's and my ears. Yet still claiming to be friends, we wouldn't put this anger on her head. However, the result was, both of us appeared very calm, both quietly eating, chewing each bite. Even our expressions didn't change. Only she shouted once, breathing heavily from anger. This was when I put down my bowl, went to the kitchen and came back. In my hand was a cup of warm water, placed in front of Emma, telling her to drink water to ease her anger. No need to be angry with such people, not worth it. All right. Emma used both hands to lift the cup, though only taking a small sip. But the anger in her heart reduced by half. Because she heard me gently comforting her like that. She'd planned to comfort me, advise me not to be angry. Yet I turned around to comfort her. Oh right, and Ashley too. Just now Lily insulted Ashley a lot. Emma shifted her gaze to Ashley. She was about to explain, advise her not to be angry. But Ashley seemed to see through all her thoughts. Gently patted Emma's shoulder. Said, "You just made friends poorly. It has nothing to do with you. Don't blame yourself." I know. Emma was stunned. She nodded slightly. She didn't expect Ashley and I to be so emotionally stable. Not angry, not upset. Meanwhile, at Lily's house, she looked at the hung-up phone, feeling confused, face full of doubt and bewilderment. Emma's anger just now still echoed in her head. Strange, is she angry? Did I say something wrong? surely didn't offend her. What a pity. She's clearly the most suitable person for this plan. This plan was clearly made for her. Lily put down the phone. Using her hand to support her forehead, she thought Emma would help her become the rumor spreader, because Emma had good relationships in class. Her words always made people feel happy, even if it was nonsense rumors. When Emma said them, they would become truth. Then she'd successfully isolate me. Though now Emma wouldn't help her anymore. But she didn't plan to give up this plan. Lily thought for a long while. Finally she thought of someone in the boys' group. Who might be the most suitable person? Ryan, this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Just stood at the door saying goodbye to Emma and me. Goodbye. See you at school tomorrow. Emma thought about being able to continue playing with Ashley tomorrow. She was happy and expectant. Ashley left. I returned to my study desk, preparing to continue studying. But I suddenly looked at my exercise equipment, feeling like something was missing in my heart. Today had quite free time. Studied and played. I hadn't exercised for almost a week. Muscles would weaken without training. I even felt I was starting to lose muscle. Ha ha ha, let's exercise a bit then. Emma brought out washed fruits from the kitchen, planning to guide my studying, but saw me standing in the exercise equipment area, warming up. Emma's eyes widened, immediately interested. Then she sat down quietly watching me exercise. And every time I pushed up, my solid muscles made Emma's heart pound. After exercising all body parts, I went to shower, while Emma went to the exercise area, put the equipment back in place. Seeing the floor covered in my sweat, Emma really admired me. Under such heavy academic pressure, still able to diligently exercise. This physique was what I deserved. After cleaning up, Emma looked at the other equipment. Exercise bike, treadmill. These she could also use. She was thinking whether she should exercise her body a bit. Wonder what kind of girl Nathan likes. Does he like the athletic type? Or the artistic type? Emma stepped on the treadmill. She tried to find some advantages in Lily that could attract me, but seemed to find nothing. Strange, why did I pursue her for 2 whole years? Maybe because Lily appeared too early. At that young age, I met Lily. Liking her was unavoidable. Pursuing for 2 years proved I was very faithful. If not for Lily's attitude, normal people would have given up long ago. At this time I finished showering and came out. Saw Emma standing on the treadmill in a daze. I asked confused, "What's wrong? You want to exercise too?" "Just want to try." Emma hurriedly stepped down from the treadmill. She was embarrassed to exercise in front of me. After all, with her exercise intensity, to me, it was like playing around. Like a first-timer at the gym. In front of an expert not daring to exercise. Afraid of being laughed at. Try it, but you should choose lighter weight. Too heavy might cause injury. I walked over starting to remove weight plates. Finally leaving just one small piece. About 5 kilograms. Should be fine now. You try. I don't know this. Emma was a bit awkward. She didn't mind the weight. But mainly she didn't know how to exercise. Though the movements I did looked simple. But she knew if she did them they definitely wouldn't be standard. If gym form isn't standard, consequences are serious. I'll teach you. First pick it up. Yeah, good. Emma picked up the weight. This time the weight was indeed very light. And I went to stand behind Emma, reaching out to gently hold her hands. Emma couldn't help but let out a soft sound. Her body clearly trembled slightly. From behind she could clearly feel my solid body pressed close. The strength even let her feel my heartbeat. She felt especially safe in this moment. Slowly feel the force position. Breathe evenly. Then I guided Emma's body, helping her do the movement slowly. At this moment in Emma's heart, she basically couldn't feel the muscle exertion. Now being able to stand steady was already very difficult. Me pressing close to her, plus just having showered, emanating a gentle fragrance. This was the closest I'd been to her. In this situation, how could she concentrate? Once familiar with the movement, you can do it. If the form isn't standard, adjust promptly. After instructing Emma, I let her try herself. Emma did 1 set. I helped her adjust the movement again. Like this 10 minutes passed. Emma felt her arms slightly sore. Could say this process was extremely painful for her. But the satisfaction and fullness after finishing made her really like it. Though sweat had soaked her clothes. Hair also stuck to her forehead. Her face also turned red. She felt maybe she'd fall in love with fitness. At night, Emma after showering sat beside me guiding my studies. We sat until late, then went to the room preparing to sleep. Emma thought about last night's events. Emotions somewhat complex, but she still wanted to know. Then she looked at me. Said softly, "Last night you seemed very tired. Slept very deeply." When hearing Emma mention last night, I immediately remembered when I woke up last night. Seemed like I'd hugged Emma. Don't know for how long. Now Emma brought this up again. I could only awkwardly look elsewhere and reply, "Yeah. Yesterday was too tiring, fell asleep as soon as I lay down." Suddenly I felt Emma and I seemed not very compatible. When sharing a bed, if I turned over and pressed on Emma, I'd probably be kicked off the bed by her. Thinking this, I pointed outside the door. Said, "How about I go sleep on the sofa?" Emma was a bit surprised. She didn't understand why I suddenly wanted to sleep on the sofa. We'd clearly been sleeping together like this for almost a week. No way, sleeping on the sofa isn't comfortable. Emma shook her head. I remembered, "Fine then, all right. I'm just afraid you feel cramped." I lay on the bed, moving to one side. The blanket barrier in the middle also moved a bit. This way creating more space for Emma. However, Emma found this unreasonable. She and I had too great a physical difference. If her sleeping area was smaller it wouldn't matter. But if my sleeping area was smaller it would be very uncomfortable. At that time, even turning over wouldn't have space. When sleeping, easily hitting the wall. So Emma pulled the blanket back to its original position. My heart was very complex. Felt if I did wrong I should apologize. Shouldn't avoid. This wasn't my character. "Emma, last night you slept late, right?" I slowly spoke. After a moment of silence, Emma slowly said, "Last night I was too tired. So when sleeping I couldn't control myself. Must have turned over and slept on your side. And accidentally put my arm on you. Sorry." Emma faced me. After hearing me finish, her eyes widened in surprise. Didn't expect I'd remember that clearly. She thought I wasn't conscious then. It's fine. When people are asleep who can control it. I don't care about such trivial matters. Emma said in a gentle voice. She smiled slightly. She really liked my straightforward personality. Very direct, and hoped she could be like me. The next morning, I was still the first to wake up. Quietly left the bedroom to make breakfast. 5 minutes later, Emma woke up. She opened her eyes, rubbing them. Planning to stretch and sit up. But the soreness in her arms and body made her quickly wake up completely. The feeling of pain. When she tried to lift her arm she didn't dare move anymore. Even her legs couldn't use strength. Though she had a feeling that exercising like that last night, the next day would definitely be very sore. But didn't expect it to be this serious. She even found getting up became a problem. This proved her physical fitness was really poor. She struggled to get up from bed. Then continued to endure the pain and fold the blanket. I was sitting eating breakfast when I saw Emma come out of the room. When I was about to say good morning, but saw her walking with difficulty, I immediately understood her condition. Remembering when I first started exercising. Back then it was so difficult that even dressing and going to the bathroom was hard. Let alone going up and down stairs. "Are you okay?" "Just a little." Emma showed a slightly bitter expression. "Don't make that funny face." Now she could only lean on the wall to walk slowly. Just walking a bit fast would make her muscles hurt a lot. Everyone's like this when they start exercising. Muscles need to adapt to your exercise intensity. Just persist. I was a bit worried Emma would give up gym. Though whether she exercised or not didn't affect me. But I still hoped Emma could share the same hobby with me. I'll try hard. Emma also had no intention of giving up. She thought if she gave up, she'd have to endure this pain again when returning to exercise. So she had no thought of quitting anymore. After washing up and eating breakfast, she packed her things, preparing to go to school with me. She put the gift Ryan gave her in her bag, planning to give it to him tomorrow at school. And also had to follow the punishment Ashley set for her. This was completely not difficult for her. Just expressing her true thoughts. She should have done this long ago. But before, she always had a somewhat weak personality. So she always pretended not to know, not understand. Now she decided to change herself. This was the first step. Emma was about to put on her backpack. But the muscle soreness made her unable to do such a small thing. And right at this moment, I suddenly reached out straight, pulling Emma's backpack toward me. I'll carry it for you. It's fine, I can carry it myself. Don't force yourself. I know how much pain you're in. Taking Emma's backpack, I headed straight for the door, completely not giving Emma a chance to object. Seeing this, the corner of Emma's mouth slightly curved into an arc. Then, leaning on the wall, she slowly walked outside. On the way to school, I didn't walk fast either, always walking beside Emma. When we walked through the hallway, we met Ashley, who had just arrived at school. But Ashley only saw Emma. Her condition was a bit unusual. I was carrying her backpack for her. Now her walking was like she couldn't lift her feet. Still had to lean on the wall. What's wrong with you? Ashley came to Emma's side, asking curiously. Emma looked up at me. Said softly. Exercised a bit last night. That's why I'm like this today. Ashley silently adjusted her posture. Then suddenly widened her eyes, looking at Emma and me with a surprised expression. An image suddenly appeared in her mind. It was a scene of very intense hormone explosion. You guys, you two aren't seriously exercising? Ashley's words were cut off before she could finish. Seemed like I'd already guessed what Ashley wanted to say. The image in Ashley's mind immediately dissipated. She pointed at me, looking at Emma, asked, "Did you let him train you?" His training intensity I've tried once. Then hurt for 3 whole days. Compared to him, even demons fall short. Emma answered a bit embarrassedly. At the same time, extremely shocked by what Ashley just said. Though Ashley said she also hurt for 3 days. But she'd trained with me before. To persist with such training intensity. If it were her, she'd probably have to call 911. Ashley shook her head, saying, "If you want to exercise, I can train you. Definitely more effective than having no one guide you." She completely doesn't understand how girls exercise. Saying it's for you is fine. Why step on me too? I glanced at her, then entered the classroom first. But when I entered the classroom, immediately several pairs of eyes followed me. I didn't pay attention to those gazes. Put Emma's backpack at her seat. Then returned to my own seat. Among the eyes watching me, the most unfriendly was Ryan. He saw me carrying Emma's backpack in. His heart tightened. Then saw Emma and Ashley talking, still saying something. After a while, Lily entered the classroom. She immediately looked toward Emma sitting there. Yesterday, she thought carefully, felt she should apologize to Emma. Emma, after all, was the class president. Would definitely think about class unity. Asking her to do this was indeed too much. She still cherished Emma, this good friend. 1.5 years of friendship. She'd considered her the only close friend. Lily rushed straight to Emma's side, reaching out to gently pat Emma's arm. "Hey, Emma, good morning." Emma's eyes widened, taking a deep breath, then turned, frowning at Lily. Lily was immediately stunned. She thought she just had a small conflict with Emma. But her reaction seemed much angrier than she'd imagined. I just patted lightly. Why was it like hitting her hard? Was this expression going to eat me? "Emma, are you still angry at me?" Lily looked at Emma's expression. She was really a bit scared. Though she'd known Emma for a long time, this was still the first time seeing her like this. Emma lowered her head, silent for a long while. Then slowly spoke. "Lily, from now on we're just classmates." Lily's mouth fell open, unable to close. She didn't expect things to be this serious. Emma, as class president, really valued class unity this much? She just said a few bad things about Ashley. Then said a few more like it's no big deal, don't mind too much. But now wanted to cut ties with her. Impossible. Just talking. Didn't do anything serious. Not even giving me a chance to correct myself? No, Emma. I know I was wrong. I swear I won't say it again. And won't do anything either. Can you not be like this? Aren't we very good friends? Lily's tone softened. She really didn't want to lose Emma as a friend. Before, their relationship was very good. Nothing they didn't talk about. But since Emma hadn't come to school these past few days, it felt like she'd become a different person. Now even wanting to cut ties with her. She'd never thought about these things. Hearing Lily say this, Emma also felt her humble attitude. Even for a moment Emma softened. But she still couldn't forgive Lily's words yesterday. So she didn't reply. Just chose to lower her head in silence. Lily, seeing she didn't respond, seemed a bit anxious. Immediately reached out to grab Emma's shoulder. Urgently said, "Really, Emma, trust me." Emma, being grabbed by the shoulder, raised her head again. Her eyes looked at Lily full of warning. Lily was immediately scared into pulling her hand back. At this moment, Ryan, who'd been observing, couldn't sit still. He saw Lily seemed to have conflict with Emma, and was getting physical with her. Knew this was a good opportunity to act. Immediately stood up, walking toward Lily. "Lily, if you want to talk then talk. Why get physical? Don't you see Emma is very uncomfortable?" Ryan stood in front of Emma, posing like a hero saving a beauty. He felt he was really cool right now. In Emma's eyes, his image would definitely stand out. He deliberately spoke loudly, just wanting the whole class to see, to feel the moment he protected Emma. At that time, there'd definitely be rumors in class about him and Emma. They might even become a couple. Then wouldn't getting together be very natural? Ryan's actions made both Emma and Lily stunned. The whole class was also stunned. Lucas even covered his face with his hand. He felt the scene was too embarrassing. After watching, he'd definitely get goosebumps. While Ashley and I just sat in place, watching this scene. With vague expressions, Ashley quietly asked me, "What's going on? Is this filming a romance? Should we help Emma? She can probably handle it herself. No need to get angry yet." Turning to look at Emma, saw Emma seemed to be looking for something in her bag. Ryan worried inside. "Emma, what are you looking for? Look at me. I'm saying this in front of the whole class. Aren't you moved?" Right at that moment, Emma spoke up. Ryan immediately turned to look at Emma. "What is it?" Ryan smiled brightly, but when he saw what was in Emma's hand, the smile immediately died, because in her hand seemed to be the gift he'd given her yesterday. Emma endured the pain, slowly standing up, then handed the gift in her hand to Ryan. Under the eyes of the whole class, Emma coldly said, voice neither loud nor soft, "Ryan, this is the gift you gave me yesterday. Now returning it to you. And from now on don't give me any gifts. I don't like you." The whole class immediately buzzed. Most people's mouths hung open, eyes wide. They didn't expect to witness such a scene early in the morning. After Emma finished speaking, she unconsciously looked toward Ashley and me. Ashley gave her a thumbs up, her face also showing admiration. At this moment, Ryan stood frozen in place, unable to move. His face was pale, as if telling everyone he was dead. Lily also couldn't believe it. She didn't expect Emma to say such words at this time. Especially Lily. She realized Emma seemed to have really changed. Completely different from before. That made her feel unfamiliar. Seeing this, Lucas hurriedly stood up, pulling Ryan back. Though Emma's actions also surprised him. But overall, Ryan brought this on himself. Yesterday he followed her home. When stopped he didn't listen. Now that this happened no one could be blamed. Emma sat down, opened her book, not caring about everyone's gazes. She'd done what needed to be done. The rest she didn't care about, didn't want to care. During class, many people weren't paying attention to the lecture, occasionally sneaking looks at their phones. Emma's heart had many questions, and was also very worried. What she worried most about was her relationship. What to do now? As for Ryan, no need to mention. The whole class, he just stared at his desk. Who knows what he was thinking? After class, Emma wanted to go to the bathroom, but her body was really difficult to move. Sitting down then having difficulty standing up. Felt like she needed a walking stick now. But at this moment, Lily once again came to Emma. "Emma, can we talk?" I think we definitely still have misunderstandings. At this moment, Emma's heart felt like bursting. She didn't want to care about so-called misunderstandings. She just wanted to go to the bathroom. The girls' bathroom from the classroom. Not far, going back and forth takes 3 minutes. Let alone her current condition. Emma, don't ignore me. What else are you angry about? Emma didn't want to say anything anymore. Also didn't want to reply. At this moment, a hand suddenly appeared in front of her. Lily turned to look. Immediately showed an expression of disbelief. Ashley. Emma also saw Ashley beside her. Ashley gently raised an eyebrow, though she didn't say anything. But Emma immediately understood. She smiled, hurriedly reached out to take Ashley's hand. Then Ashley pulled her up, leading her away from Lily's sight. Lily still watched, until she couldn't see them anymore. Madison came near Lily, asking, "What's going on?" "I just saw Emma and Ashley going out together." "When did these two become a couple?" "Don't know." Lily shook her head in confusion. Her heart was very chaotic. At this moment she thought a lot, carefully thinking back to Emma's expression just now, when she saw Ashley, like how she used to look when seeing me. There was an emptiness in her heart. Suddenly she seemed to understand everything. Why Emma suddenly changed. Why she was angry at her. Why she wanted to cut ties with me. It must be related to Ashley. Ashley must have influenced her. Throughout 2 years of friendship, they almost never argued, because Emma was very gentle and lovable. Whatever mistakes she made, Emma wouldn't pursue, wouldn't blame. But now everything had changed. The most suspicious thing was, Emma recently had Ashley by her side. So Ashley must be the one causing all this. Lily clenched her fists, face cold. Ashley snatched Ryan's disc from beside him. "You still want to win Emma over?" After class, Ryan stood in front of the men's bathroom sink. His face extremely terrible. Then immediately, he threw the music box gift in his hand hard onto the ground. Staring at the broken pieces on the floor, he suddenly remembered. This gift, Ashley had helped bring in for them. At lunchtime, Emma took her lunchbox, came to Ashley and me, sat at the table in front of Ashley, sharing a table with her. Now she no longer cared what others thought, because Ashley had said they could hang out together from now on. So Emma felt free to find Ashley. Also convenient to be closer to me, because I'd never said we could hang out together at school. So Emma worried about bothering me, causing trouble, so she didn't talk to me publicly. Otherwise, with her current personality, she definitely would have treated me like at home already. Ryan saw Emma eating with her. Quietly said, "You really dare to interact with me? I've warned you. I have a bad reputation. Some people might still hate me. If it affects you later, don't blame me." Hearing this, Emma smiled lightly. "It's fine. When that time comes, I'll firmly stand by your side. Support you guys." Ashley frowned slightly, then silently lowered her head without saying anything. Emma was a bit surprised. She didn't know what Ashley was doing. Had she said something wrong? I looked at Ashley, face calm, as if seeing through Ashley's thoughts. After a moment, I sighed lightly, said softly, "That's good. Now she can be at ease too." Ashley raised her head looking at me, then said, "You're guessing my thoughts. Not happy? At this point, still calling me brother? Your mood really isn't hard to guess." Emma, hearing our conversation, felt like falling into a maze. Like everything we said was encoded. She couldn't understand. But she also knew this definitely was our understanding. Don't know when she could also have this understanding with us. 3 people eating together, chatting, attracting many people's attention. But most just looked curiously. Only one pair of eyes never stopped following us. Eyes full of hatred, anger and unwillingness. That person was Lily. At this moment she looked at Ashley, like there was deep enmity in her heart. She'd determined Ashley was deliberately destroying the relationship between her and Emma, though she hadn't figured out why Ashley would do this. But she was certain Ashley wasn't a good person. "All right, stop it. Don't look anymore. They don't notice you. You shouldn't notice them either. Aren't I still here with you?" Madison reached out, gently turning Lily's face back to look at her. About Emma abandoning them. Madison actually didn't have much reaction. Before, she and Emma were just normal friends. Not a deep relationship. It was thanks to Lily. The two played together. Now Emma didn't play with her anymore. She felt it was fine. Lily shook her head, saying, "No. Emma is just being seduced. I have to save her. Ashley definitely has some conspiracy. So Ashley must be the one causing all this. Is that really true? The class president is so smart yet still gets fooled? She must have something holding over Emma. That's right, that's it. You're right. Emma must be being forced by Ashley, threatening her every time." In Lily's mind, she'd imagined the scene of Ashley threatening Emma, though she still didn't know Ashley's purpose. But she felt Ashley was exactly the type to do such things. At this moment, Lily heard a call. Very soft sound. She looked up toward where the sound came from. Discovered it was Ryan, standing at the classroom door calling her. Seeing Ryan, Lily couldn't help but frown. She remembered this morning's incident. Ryan had stood up to protect Emma, not polite to her. Until now, she still hadn't received an apology. She had no intention of doing anything to Emma. But Ryan acted high and mighty, without distinguishing right from wrong. Just criticized her, making her feel very uncomfortable. "Oh, come out for a moment. I have something to tell you." Ryan seemed not to notice Lily's expression, just waving at her, but didn't dare enter the classroom. Afraid of being seen by Emma and Ashley, Lily helplessly sighed. She thought maybe Ryan wanted to apologize to her. So she stood up, slowly walked out of class, still maintaining a cold expression. Before Ryan apologized, she wouldn't act happy. When Lily left the classroom, Ryan immediately reached out, trying to pull her, wanting to take her somewhere without people, because what he wanted to say couldn't let others hear. Lily, seeing this, quickly avoided Ryan's hand and asked, "Ryan, what do you want to do? Are you being a hooligan? I'll report to the teacher. Try me if you don't believe it. I have something to tell you, not convenient for others to hear. So I want to take you somewhere quiet." Am I misunderstanding something? Aren't you being a hooligan? Lily widened her eyes, staring at Ryan. Looking carefully, maybe he misunderstood me. Ryan suddenly, like he couldn't say anything. His mind was really chaotic. Already very anxious, now even more panicked. Couldn't say a word. "Fine, say whatever you want. But there's one condition. You definitely have something important to tell me, right?" Lily glanced at him and said, "About this morning." Lily looked at him, sighed. "You don't need to worry, I'm fine." Ryan nodded, hurriedly said, Got it. This morning I was too hasty. Didn't understand the situation and caused trouble for you, sorry. I apologize to you." "That's better." Lily felt her expression relax much more. She'd reminded him this much. If Ryan still didn't understand, then he didn't need to continue talking. "All right, say what you want to say. Otherwise I won't talk to you anymore." Ryan looked around, observing no one eavesdropping nearby, then stepped closer to Lily, lowering his voice. "Aren't you Emma's best friend? So I want to discuss with you. I feel Emma seems to have changed now. And I think Ashley might be doing something behind the scenes." Lily, hearing this, her eyes suddenly flashed with surprise. "Don't think like that." That evening, students left school early, because tomorrow was the exam. Ashley walked on the road home. She was used to walking on such night streets. Moreover, the street was brightly lit. Not few people passing by. She had nothing to worry about. However, when passing a street corner, Ashley suddenly frowned in surprise. Just passing by, she seemed to have seen someone in her peripheral vision. Not long after, two people quickly ran past the street corner. But when looking at the street ahead, no one was there, lost them. Those two were Ryan and Lily. Both followed Ashley after school. They knew there was no chance to approach Ashley at school, and couldn't ask anything. So they'd arranged after school to follow Ashley, to make her explain things between her and Emma. But now they'd lost Ashley. Lily wanted to give up. She felt following was a mistake. Ryan, seeing Lily about to leave, immediately pulled her, saying, "Don't go. You promised. If you leave, what should I do? No one told you to be friends with me." Just as the two were talking, suddenly something flew over their heads, fell straight down, hitting a passerby's head. The man hit on the head grimaced in pain, making him grit his teeth. Lily and Ryan, hearing the noise, looked toward the man. The man rubbed his head, then also saw them. He frowned, face full of anger, walking toward them, asking, "So which of you two threw this? Do you throw things on the street like this? How did your parents teach you?" "It wasn't us." Ryan almost couldn't stand steady, because he tripped on a stone on the ground. He felt really confused. Did this person have a problem? Meanwhile, Lily, seeing the situation wasn't good, prepared to run. She looked at Ryan saying, "You stay here, I'm going home first. My mom will worry." After speaking, Lily immediately turned and left. Seemed afraid of trouble. She didn't think Ryan would have bad luck. Rather, she thought she was the unlucky one. If she'd known, shouldn't have followed. Really would have been easier to go home early. "Hey Lily, don't go. Don't leave me alone," no matter how Ryan called. Lily didn't turn back, as if she didn't know him at all. Ryan also wanted to run, but just took one step. He was grabbed by that man. Lily ran out more than 10 steps. Still planned to turn back to check Ryan's situation. But just as she turned, she was suddenly pulled into a small alley by a hand from the side. Lily's eyes widened looking at the person in front. Unexpectedly, it was Ashley, whom they'd lost. Ashley pulled her here. Meant Ashley had discovered she and Ryan were following. "What are you doing here? Is something wrong?" Ashley gently spoke. Lily was suddenly asked back. She opened her mouth but couldn't speak. She looked at Ashley confused. After a moment, she remembered Emma. "I just want to ask, what's your relationship with Emma? Why doesn't she play with me anymore? Do you know something? She and I are just friends. So what if she doesn't play with you? Then why ask me?" Ashley knew the situation, but she definitely couldn't tell Lily. Lily frowned, feeling a bit unhappy. "So can you guarantee you didn't badmouth me to her?" "Never said," Ashley firmly replied, without any hesitation. Lily, seeing Ashley answer so straightforwardly, her face showed no signs of lying. She couldn't help but be stunned. "Then why did you and she become friends?" Lily felt she was losing momentum. Clearly she was the one speaking louder, but now felt Ashley had a pressure that didn't need anger but made others fearful. "Her not playing with you has nothing to do with me. How we became friends also has nothing to do with you. But I can certainly tell you, there's no causal relationship between these two things," Ashley lightly replied. Lily didn't know if she was telling truth or lies, but looking at Ashley's appearance, seemed not to be lying. Though Lily had prepared many questions, but now she couldn't ask anything, as if already knowing clearly what answers she'd get. "Can I trust you?" Trust or not doesn't matter. After Ashley finished, turned to leave. She didn't want to waste time here answering Lily's questions. She just felt sorry for them, following her for so long. "Wait, one last question," Lily called after Ashley. Actually, the question she wanted to ask wasn't just about Emma, but there was something she really wanted to know. Ashley stopped, didn't turn around, quietly listening to Lily lower her head, her hands somewhat awkwardly rubbing her shirt hem. After a while, she asked very softly, "You and Emma are what?" Before Lily finished her sentence, Ashley interrupted, answering first, then directly left, only leaving Lily alone. She stood frozen like stone. She'd thought of many possibilities, but really didn't expect them to be siblings. After a while, uncontrollable joy suddenly rose in her heart, feeling like flowers blooming in her heart. Didn't this mean all previous worries were wrong? Ashley and Emma really couldn't have anything going on. That night, Lily got home, took out her phone to check messages. Before, her phone always had many unread messages, both from me and Emma. But now it was especially quiet. Messages she sent also got no response. She opened the conversation with me, knowing clearly I wouldn't reply. Maybe I wouldn't even see it. But she still sent a sentence. "Remember to do your best on tomorrow's exam. This problem actually has a second solution. Just in case, I'll also teach you a bit." Emma pointed at the problem on the test, carefully explaining. But before she could start, She heard a light breath. When she turned around, saw I was lying on the desk. Eyes closed, don't know when I fell asleep. Emma gently smiled, eyes full of tenderness, looking at me sleeping deeply. Made her remember what we'd experienced these past days. My efforts and progress, she saw everything. My hardship Emma also understood. To prepare for this exam, I'd worked several times harder than others. Go rest in your room. She gently patted my shoulder. Said softly, but I couldn't wake up. Emma wanted me to rest well. After all, before the exam needed full rest. Otherwise, waking up tomorrow would be sleepy. Then all previous efforts would be wasted. So she didn't dare wake me. After all, with my temperament, if I woke up I'd probably continue studying. So how could she move me to the bedroom? Thinking for a while, Emma had no solution. She couldn't move my body. Moreover, she had no strength now, though much better after a day. But she still felt pain. So she could only let me continue sleeping here. Then she took one of her jackets, gently covered me with it. Sleep well. Emma sat beside me, also put both hands on the desk, tilted her face watching me sleep. She didn't know what she was thinking. Just watching like this she could watch all night. Don't know how long this life will last. The night was very quiet. Some had fallen deeply asleep, and some were still burning the midnight oil, working hard for the hopes in their hearts. Around 4 a.m., outside had some weak light. I slowly opened my eyes. The first feeling was my arm was numb, and my back also hurt a lot. I looked down at the jacket on me. Couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. Remembering, seemed I'd fallen asleep without realizing when. At that time just felt my head was heavy. Eyes couldn't open, fell down and immediately sank into sleep. She slept quietly beside me. Eyes closed, I could see her long eyelashes. I didn't expect Emma to be here, with me. Actually, she could have completely gone to the bedroom. The jacket on me must be hers. But she didn't cover herself with anything. Sleeping in the living room was still very cold. Sleeping like this all night would definitely catch cold. I looked at Emma. She'd almost curled into a ball, both hands hidden under her arms. So I could see she was definitely very cold. Emma, I called her name, wanting to wake her up, at least to let her go to her room, continue sleeping, but after calling several times, Emma still showed no signs of waking. Still sleeping deeply. I knew I'd been too exhausted from studying. My body had been overloaded. But I forgot Emma was the same. Every time I studied, she would sit beside me helping. If I didn't sleep, she didn't sleep either. So Emma's exhaustion actually wasn't different from mine. Plus her pressure, the thoughts in her heart. Perhaps mentally, even more exhausted than physically. I really wanted to let Emma sleep more. Though there was still time now. But definitely couldn't let her sleep on the sofa like this. If I couldn't wake her up, I thought I'd carry her to the bedroom. As long as I moved really gently, definitely wouldn't wake her. I stood up, looking at Emma, adjusting my breathing, to calm my mind. Then I bent down, gently picked up Emma. She still had her eyes closed, proving she was really exhausted. I felt a bit guilty in my heart. However, when I walked to the bedside, preparing to put Emma down, she suddenly turned in my arms, reached out to hold my shoulders. At this moment I felt like being petrified instantly. Limbs stiffened. Looking down, I saw. But Emma in my arms seemed not to wake up. These actions, perhaps, were just unconscious comfort in her dreams. What should I do now? Now Emma was holding my shoulders. Even I couldn't put her down on the bed. Should I wake her up now? At this moment, I heard Emma call softly. From my arms, she called Mom. Right after, I felt. She held my hand tighter, as if afraid I'd leave her. Her body trembled slightly. I could feel her fear. A bit of worry. My throat moved. All intentions to wake Emma also dissipated completely. I'd forgotten. Though Emma seemed strong, looking like she didn't care. But after all, she was just a girl. Still not grown up in her parents' eyes. Now she just wanted. She hoped not to wake up. Could let her sleep a bit more. Perhaps in dreams. Just let her and her mother be together a bit longer. I sat steady on the bed, not moving. Becoming a bed and pillow for Emma. Letting her sleep peacefully in my arms. About half an hour later. My body was already stiff. Arms aching. Almost couldn't bear it anymore. But I still didn't dare move. Another half hour passed. Emma opened her eyes drowsily. Her eyes seemed to still have some tears left. Before realizing where she was, she heard my voice. Good morning. Good morning. After being stunned a bit, Emma slowly spoke. She said softly, "Where is this?" She realized. She seemed to be lying in my arms. In her memory, she should have been sleeping at the study desk. Maybe you should get up. My arm probably can't move anymore. All right. Emma hurriedly sat up from my arms. Only then could my body relax a bit. Otherwise, just now I really didn't dare move. Still, I felt this was worth it. Perhaps this was a small compensation for Emma. Though Emma didn't understand what happened. But she could guess. Must be I woke up. Wanted to take her to the bedroom. But like her thinking. Didn't want to wake her. So carried her here. Then probably couldn't put her down. Once thinking about her sleeping deeply in my arms. Her heart beat fast. Had she slept so deeply? If I woke up, would definitely pretend to sleep again. Then feel the sensation of lying in my arms. She'd forgotten what she dreamed while sleeping. Just felt very secure. Otherwise, why sleep so well? Even though muscles on the body also ached. The feeling had also reduced a lot. I rubbed my arm. Looking at Emma, gently asked, "Did you sleep well? Do you want to sleep a bit more? Time is still quite early." I slept well, Emma replied with a bit of panic. Because this was the first time she heard me speak such gentle words. The tone as if I'd completely changed. She'd never seen me with this attitude. Also never heard me speak in such a voice. Though a bit exaggerated. But Emma really felt a bit surprised. Then I'll go make breakfast. I nodded. Then stood up preparing to leave the bedroom. Emma seeing this hurriedly stopped me. No, let me do it. You need to rest enough to prepare for the exam. I looked at Emma with a serious expression. Initially I planned to refuse reflexively. But the words just out couldn't continue. In those few seconds of silence, I thought a lot. Finally I nodded lightly. All right. Then I'll trouble you. All right. Emma fixed her appearance. Then hurriedly agreed and went to the kitchen. Leaving the bedroom, she felt very strange. She'd prepared to argue with me. But this time, I didn't argue with her. This was too different from my personality. She just slept once. Why did it feel like I'd changed so much? After the two finished breakfast, cleaned up everything, preparing to go out to school. Tomorrow's exam was very important. It related to my living expenses. If I didn't do well, living expenses would be reduced a lot. Then don't mention Emma. Maybe even I couldn't support myself. So I was very worried. Before I'd never cared about exams. But today I paid special attention. I put on shoes, standing at the door. I looked at the big door in a daze. My feeling at this moment was a bit melancholy. Because I still lacked confidence. Based on my previous grades. To go up 50 ranks. I'd need to increase at least 70 or 80 total points. 70 or 80 points wasn't easy to achieve. Moreover, this time, others' levels might not be worse than last time. I tried harder, but others were also trying. At this moment, Emma's hand placed on my shoulder. Her gentle voice rang in my ear. Don't worry. I understand your situation best. You definitely have no problem. Really? Really, I guarantee you. In Emma's eyes, full of trust and support for me. This filled my heart with confidence. All right, I nodded. Then went out with Emma. At this moment downstairs, two people had been waiting here for 10 minutes. These two were Ryan and Lucas. They already said very clearly, doesn't like you. Why come to their house again? Not afraid they'll say something hurtful? Lucas looked at Ryan helplessly. Early morning he'd been woken by Ryan. Forced to go out. Didn't expect to come to this risky place. He sometimes really admired Ryan. Like an unkillable cockroach. You don't understand, she won't let me give gifts anymore. Then just don't give anymore. What about giving breakfast? What's the problem? This doesn't count as a gift, right? Besides, she just said she doesn't like me. She didn't say she doesn't want to be friends with me. So I still have a chance. Ryan smiled lightly, holding the bag in his hand. Inside was the breakfast he bought. Last night he'd thought for a long time. From first meeting Emma, to first talking with Emma. He remembered clearly. He clearly understood he couldn't forget. Emma was someone who liked him. No matter what, didn't want to give up. So these failures, for someone determined like him, were nothing. Really don't understand your thinking. Like him. Wait until when you see Emma with another boy. You'll understand. Lucas pointed at Ryan, scolding without words. Expression full of reproach. He really didn't understand why a boy could be stubborn to this extent. This world wasn't just Emma alone. Why focus on her so much? Facing Lucas's words, Ryan just snorted. Waving his hand said, "Impossible. The only boy who can appear beside her can only be me. I've followed to her door. Who could be better than me? Could someone follow to her house? You look." Lucas suddenly patted Ryan's back, pointing behind him. Ryan, somewhat doubtful, turned to look. As a result, in just an instant, he almost had a heart attack. He saw Emma walking out from the building. She was walking with a boy. That boy he couldn't be more familiar with. Wasn't it Nathan? The two were walking and talking about something. Emma's face always had a smile. Looking so happy it was indescribable. Thud. The breakfast in Ryan's hand fell to the ground. Everything inside scattered out. But now he didn't care anymore. After witnessing this scene, his heart felt compressed, feeling like he couldn't breathe. His throat like being strangled by someone. He almost couldn't breathe. Lucas rubbed his chin, looking at this scene. Then calmly analyzed, I think highly likely Nathan stayed at Emma's house last night. Moreover, looking at the situation, seems this isn't the first time. Ryan clenched his fists. His eyes stared at Nathan's back, anger overflowing. At this moment, he completely reversed yesterday's thinking. He'd always thought Ashley was the obstacle between him and Emma. But now, he'd determined who this obstacle really was. I have to go ask clearly. Hey, no. Lucas immediately stopped Ryan, looking at him doubtfully. Asked, "What are you planning to do?" Already said, it's not your business. Going there just looking for scolding? How is it not my business? I like her. Seeing this situation now, how can I not ask clearly? Ryan hurriedly brushed off Lucas's hand. At this moment, his whole body wasn't right. Face red like a boiled crab. Lucas, seeing him like this, also knew couldn't persuade anymore. He could only remind, all right. Ask if you want, but remember well, you're just asking as a classmate. Ask curiously and politely. Besides, don't have any other emotions. Because you don't have the qualification. Ryan didn't respond to Lucas's words. Just looked at him for a moment. Eyes with dissatisfaction. Clear unwillingness. Finally, he still didn't reply. Just directly chased after. Alas, Lucas sighed, face showing clear disappointment. He shook his head, turned and left. He didn't need to stay here anymore. He could imagine what the result would be. He'd done his best to help. Also advised. Also helped. He didn't owe Ryan. The rest was his business. Ryan basically didn't take Lucas's words to heart. Now he couldn't think about these things. Just thinking about Nathan living at Emma's house. Imagining what they'd do together. His heart tightened again. Nathan, Ryan called loudly, shouting to call the two ahead. They stopped their steps, turned to look at Ryan. Ryan's face showed surprise. Especially Emma. She looked somewhat contemptuous and disgusted. Ryan walked up, standing opposite me. The two had similar heights. But my body was much stronger than Ryan's. Nathan, why are you coming from Emma's house? Do you live there? Emma's house. I looked up at the building ahead. That was the direction of my home. And if saying it was Emma's house wasn't wrong either. He also hoped Emma would consider this her home. Emma was about to open her mouth to explain. I nodded, and said first, that's right. I live here. Ryan received the confirming answer. His face almost immediately flushed red, looking at me with eyes like spitting fire. He was angry beyond description, while I had no expression at all. Ryan turned to look at Emma. Asked, is what he said true? What are you living together for? What's your relationship now? Emma stepped back. Ryan's questions made her flustered. Couldn't answer immediately. And I immediately stood blocking in front of Emma. Put my hand on Ryan's shoulder, not letting him continue advancing. Where do you get so many questions? Not your business. No need to answer, I said in a low voice. My face also turned cold. Again, it's not my business. Ryan laughed coldly, continued sticking his head out, saying to Emma, "You really don't see anything wrong? Do you really want to choose me? What does he have that's better than me? Such poor academic performance. And bringing someone like that home. Do your parents agree? They'd definitely be angry to death." I heard Ryan's words, coldly frowned. Ryan saying that was one thing, but also talking about Emma's parents regardless. Mentioning deceased parents in front of her was too much. Though Ryan didn't know about this, but still inadvertently touched Emma's sore spot. Sure enough, when Emma heard this last sentence, her face immediately darkened, cold to the point of being frightening. Anger appeared in her eyes, especially when hearing that sentence. My heart and body both trembled slightly. Emma stepped forward, standing in front of Ryan. Ryan completely didn't realize, at this moment, something was wrong with Emma's state. Even a thread of joy rose in his heart, thinking Emma had come back to him, feeling he'd changed, wanting to rush into his arms. But right after, Emma suddenly reached out, one hand tightly grabbing Ryan's collar. When she raised her head to look at him, that cold and sharp gaze made Ryan immediately stunned. "Ryan, let me tell you. First, this isn't my house. This is Nathan's house. I'm living at his place. Nathan is better than you in every way. You have no right to talk about him. Second, I've already said, I don't like you, even really hate you. If you come near me again, I'll tell the teachers about this, and about you following me. Third, if you dare mention my parents again, I absolutely won't forgive you, even if we die together." Emma's cold words, along with that sharp gaze, made Ryan not dare open his mouth, also not dare move. After speaking, she pushed Ryan, pushing him to sit on the ground. He stepped back 2 steps, almost fell sitting on the ground. His eyes had become dazed, his whole body like turned to stone. Couldn't believe she, the gentle and kind Emma in his heart, had become like this. Emma's breathing was a bit rapid. She looked very angry. I stood behind, saw her ears were also a bit red. I reached out, gently patted Emma's shoulder, said softly, "Calm down." Emma turned to look at me. Her face changed as quickly as flipping pages. Her expression and gaze immediately softened. "Okay," she answered softly, nodding, like an obedient animal. This action almost stunned Ryan, feeling like the next second she'd fly into my arms. The difference in treatment between them was really too obvious. I used to think, through my own efforts, still had a chance to be with Emma, but now I understand. I have absolutely no chance to turn things around. Suppressed to the point of being unable to move. I'm done for. Let's go. Yeah, Emma and I glanced at Ryan, then didn't bother with him anymore. Silently left. Ryan watched the two gradually going away. His heart also felt increasingly distant, feeling like losing his soul. It's over, I'm completely done. What should I do? What should I do? Ryan turned around. His voice suddenly stopped. Behind him was no one. Lucas had left at some unknown time. Now only he stood here alone, feeling the failure, like an abandoned child. After a while, he started walking, and this direction wasn't toward school. Chapter 56. He will definitely make it. I believe in him. Emma and I walked on the road. Don't know if because the unpleasant incident just happened. Both were silent at this moment. Neither spoke. After a while, I was the first to ask, "Was what you just said all true?" Emma was slightly stunned. She thought back to what she just said, though not knowing which sentence I meant. But indeed everything she said was true. So she nodded, replied, "Yeah, it's true." I was silent for a few seconds, then suddenly spoke. "I won't let you die together with him. If he dares insult you again, just tell me, I'll help you deal with it. Don't do foolish things." Emma blinked, a bit surprised. She didn't expect me to say such words. If it wasn't her overthinking, then this was probably because I was worried about her. In other words, in my heart, she still had some position. Otherwise I wouldn't care. Also wouldn't say such words. Thinking of this, the corner of Emma's mouth couldn't help but want to smile. At that time she was just angry. So the words were somewhat excessive. She also didn't want to use her life to exchange for Ryan's life. Really not worth it. Yeah, okay. She hurriedly agreed. Her voice already had obvious joy. She didn't expect such a surprise. Being treated like this by me. The anger from this morning with Ryan immediately dissipated. The two went to school together. Just entering class, I felt the strange atmosphere of this exam. Usually at this time the classroom was very noisy. Some chatting, some playing around, some copying homework. But today was especially quiet. Most people were using the last time to study, trying to review a bit more. And those who didn't care also didn't dare disturb, just quietly slept. Usually, I completely didn't care about this atmosphere. Coming here I joined the sleeping group. Or do whatever, as long as not studying. But today I was also affected by this atmosphere, feeling the pre-exam tension. And also wanted to quickly sit down and start reviewing. Who knows, maybe because of this morning's review time, my score would increase by a few points. I just sat down. Ashley whispered, asking, "This morning when you came here, was anyone following or any conflicts?" I was a bit surprised, looking at her asking, "How did you know? Ryan, right?" I guessed it was him. Last night me too. Last night, I was a bit stunned. But then understood what happened. Seems Ryan, besides bothering them, last night he also went to bother Ashley. But didn't need to ask to know the result. If anyone could in a battle with Ashley easily gain advantage, I'd really want to meet that person and learn some moves from them. But that person definitely wasn't Ryan. If Ryan went to bother Ashley, the one suffering would definitely be him. I didn't have time to manage these things now. Right now reviewing was definitely more important. The monthly exam was about to start. Though since entering 12th grade, this type of exam had many, but could directly see each student's recent learning situation. Help students maintain this state and continue maintaining until college entrance exams. Definitely couldn't be careless. In the exam room, I relaxed my mood a bit. I knew only maintaining a calm mood, not worrying, could fully display my abilities. For me, this was a battle concerning life and death. As for Emma, class ranking wasn't that important. This was originally something that could make parents proud and receive praise from parents. But now, no one could be proud of her anymore. Also no one, because her grades were good, would praise or reward her anymore. So she quickly finished the exam. Even skipped checking once. Her mind started thinking about other things. Though before the exam she'd comforted me. But actually she was still very worried. Worried I wasn't in good condition. Worried I'd encounter difficult questions. Worried I'd mentally collapse from pressure. Tonight she'd cook me a nutritious meal. Replenish my strength. Feeling recently I'd stayed up late quite a lot. And also had to let me rest well. Couldn't be like last night. She believed I could do it. Yeah, I'd definitely make it. She believed in me. Emma nodded, her mind wandering far. She kept thinking about me. She might not have realized yet. Hadn't realized that, in her heart, I was now more important than herself. Hey, student. Please look at your own exam. Emma was reminded by the proctor. She startled, embarrassedly lowered her head. At the back of the exam room, another person seemed to be thinking something about Emma. If it was before, when they tested in the same room, would definitely occasionally look at each other, then smile at each other. But now, she no longer looked this way. Just like now, I also no longer looked toward her. The exam day quickly passed. Everyone returned to class, packing things, preparing to go home. Tomorrow still had to continue testing. After finishing tomorrow's test, results would come in a few days. Now after school, Lucas came to Ryan's desk, looking at the empty desk before him, eyes deep, not knowing what he was thinking. At this moment, Connor walked over, gently patted Lucas's arm asking, "Where's Ryan? Today's exam but he didn't come." Lucas sighed, nodded answering, "Yeah, and definitely won't come tomorrow either." "Huh, what happened? Did something happen to him?" Connor frowned slightly. A bit unbelievable. Lucas didn't answer Connor's question, but the expression on his face seemed to say everything. Connor didn't ask anymore. "Don't know what happened to Ryan," but seemed quite serious. Emma was standing waiting at the school gate, waiting for me to come out and go home together. After a while, she saw Ashley walk out first. Ashley saw Emma, also actively approached to talk. "You waiting for me?" "Yeah, how was your exam?" "No, shouldn't ask you like that. For you it's definitely very easy." Emma smiled lightly, though she was top of the class, but only top academically. As for intelligence, she felt far inferior to Ashley. Ashley nodded, then said, "Yeah, it was okay. Nothing too difficult." But whether answered correctly or not uncertain. Right when the two were chatting, I also came out. Just that. My expression was completely different from Ashley's. Looking worried. Seemed I was thinking about something. Don't know if the last question. I did it right. If that one's wrong it's still okay, right? Points should still be enough. Chapter 57. Probably just walking together. Ashley saw me coming, then gently patted Emma's back. Said, "Go. He really needs you now." After speaking, she left, only leaving Emma standing there, stunned for a moment. "Needs me?" She watched Ashley's departing figure, mouth slightly open, muttering, "Thank you," though not knowing what additional meaning that sentence had. But hearing Ashley say that, she felt very happy. I walked while thinking, completely not paying attention ahead. At this moment, Emma suddenly appeared before me. Looking at me, she smiled, looking at me. "Hi, how was the exam? You okay?" I silently shook my head, but my expression was somewhat serious. In my brows, worry clearly showed. I just thought about what I'd learned, then wrote out the answers. As for right or wrong, I wasn't very clear. If letting me self-evaluate, I felt I got everything right. After all, I wrote everything, no blanks left. I sighed. I'd tried my best. If results still weren't good, could only accept reality. After all, I hadn't studied hard before. Emma, seeing my current state, trembled slightly. All along, I'd always given her the feeling of someone very emotionally stable. No matter what, I'd calmly face it. Facing everything, expression unchanged. Always calm before any storm. And I was also very mature. Like my psychology had matured much more than my age. When caring for her, like an older relative. But now, she saw I was also like normal students. Worried about exams. Expressing like this made Emma feel she and I weren't so distant anymore. Especially now, with my head lowered. Looking very unconfident. This scene made her want to protect me. For a moment, she really wanted to hug me. Didn't want to see me sad like this. But she still restrained herself. After all, this was a public place. She'd be fine. But for me, might not be good. She gently pulled my hand. Said, "All right? Exam's done, so don't think anymore. Let's go home and review for tomorrow's exam." I turned to look at Emma. Saw her thin red lips, along with a light smile. Suddenly, I felt much lighter in my heart. I thought, perhaps this was the power of comfort. If just me alone, definitely couldn't review well tonight. Yeah, okay. The two went toward home. On the way, we talked about today's exam questions. And the two figures leaving were completely seen by someone. Why was Emma walking with me? Lily wondered. She stood there, like losing control of her body. Just standing there, not moving. She couldn't believe her eyes. Why was Emma walking with me? Did they have such a good relationship? She'd just learned yesterday. Ashley was actually my sister. Now she could be at ease. No need to worry I'd be with Ashley anymore. She'd planned to maintain some longing recently. Not bother me. Going over now would only make things worse. Wait a while longer. When seeing my mood improve, she'd slowly approach again. After all, there was still another year. No need to rush. According to her understanding of me, I definitely wouldn't love anyone in a short time. So now she mainly wanted to repair the relationship with Emma, become good friends with her again. But she saw this scene. A scene she couldn't believe. Emma walking alone with me, without Ashley beside. She didn't know where we were going now. Probably just walking together, Lily muttered, comforting herself. But her eyes still focused, looking in the direction we left. She kept comforting herself like this. But really she couldn't imagine the scene of Emma and me together.